Chapter 81. When Zhang Yu returned to the Golden Gym, he found that only Nazi's father was in a daze in the hall. "Ah, it's you, Ayu. Sorry to make you laugh." Qiu Ji smiled helplessly at Zhang Yu. The two had introduced each other back at the Golden Hotel. "The animation doesn't have the name of Nancy's father, so I made it up myself. I didn't notice it just now, but now Qiu Ji remembered the young man who played with his daughter. No, I just heard something about a game." "What happened?" Zhang Yu planned to play dumb and get some information. Seeing Qiu Ji's current state, he probably wouldn't be able to accept the challenge. Ugh. Recently, Nazi has been addicted to games and can't extricate herself, even affecting her life. Speaking of this, Qiu Ji also felt a little regretful. "It's our fault, actually. 2 years ago, her mother and I discovered that Naz has a strong talent for superpowers, so we kept asking her to practice more. She also likes superpowers, but because of this, she became obsessed and often couldn't control her abilities. The children she used to play with no longer dared to play with her. The child gradually became withdrawn. But, it's better now. I'm no longer obsessed with superpowers, but have become addicted to games." Old Father Qiu Ji looked depressed. It was so. After Zhang Yu knew the reason, there was nothing he could do. Qiu Ji suddenly changed the subject and asked, "Ayu, how are you doing in the game? I hope you can help me defeat Nancy with the game, so that maybe she will stop being addicted." Qiu Ji came up with a plan that sounded a bit outrageous. Zhang Yu was a little confused. How did this involve him? He actually doesn't know how to play. Although the game account given by Meow Meow is fully loaded, his combat operations are all mindless. After thinking for a while, Zhang Yu agreed to this somewhat outrageous request. "Anyway, I won't lose anything, and if I solve the problem, I can get a favor." After hearing her father's request, Nazi smiled crookedly. She had been playing games with her superpowers and working non-stop since she started. Although she had fallen behind in the progress after a week in Chengdu. "But I have caught up again in the past 2 days. Even a kind older brother who plays with me can't beat me. Ayu, come on. My daughter's future depends on you." Qiu Ji cheered beside her. Zhang Yu looked at him strangely. "Do you want to listen to what you are saying? Don't set a flag for me." "What? Big brother, you actually have Pikachu's token." Nazi saw a familiar item on Zhang Yu's game screen. "And there's also a phoenix feather." Nazi looked at Zhang Yu in shock. The little face is full of question marks. Is this something amazing?" Zhang Yu scratched his head. He didn't understand this. It was all given by Meow Meow. "Wow! I worked hard for 3 days and 3 nights but still couldn't get this. I heard that only insiders can get the last key." Nazi leaned over and watched Zhang Yu slide the backpack. 5 minutes later. "Big brother, are you a staff member of the Game City?" Nazi looked at Zhang Yu with a strange expression. "A backpack full of rare items, some of which are out of print, and all other resources are full. There is no need to compete. Just by looking at her, you can tell that Nazi can beat you directly. This is the terrifying power of GM. Staff, no way." Zhang Yu thought about it and decided that he should be a creator. Seeing his daughter's worldview refreshed, Qiu Ji asked in a low voice, "Xiao Nazi, do you still want to compete?" Nazi's little mouth curled. "Wow, I lost." Qiu Ji was confused. It ended before it even started? No, this. The problem was solved so quickly? Qiu Ji hugged the crying Nancy and felt like he was dreaming. "I went to Chengdu before and wanted to find a guru to help me quit internet addiction, but Nazi used her superpowers to throw me into the water. But now it's only been a few minutes and it's cured? Well, although I don't quite understand it, the result seems to be pretty good." Zhang Yu's mouth twitched, and he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. In the end, Nazi promised her parents to get along well with others and not be addicted to superpowers and games. Qiu Ji also promised Nazi that she could play games, but it should not affect her healthy life. After happily adding Zhang Yu as a game friend, Nazi jumped to find her mother. "It's a strange development, but anyway. I can challenge the gym now." After Zhang Yu told Qiu Ji about his request, Qiu Ji said that it was no problem at all. He was in a good mood now that his daughter's problem had been solved. He even wanted to give the golden badge directly to Zhang Yu. But he was rejected, so Zhang Yu still wanted to get the badge through formal competition. I appreciate your kindness, but I still want to train myself and my Pokémon, so please give it your all and challenge me to a match. Chuji has a better impression of Zhang Yu. That's right. This is the spirit of a trainer. Last week, a trainer named Xiaohao was defeated by me, and he blamed Pokémon. How shameful! Hearing the familiar name, Zhang Yu was stunned for a moment, but thinking about how Xiaohao was at Yeheng University before, he didn't expect that he still didn't repent. If you are free now, we can start the gym competition right away. No problem Mr. Akizuki, I'm ready. After choosing the Pokémon to play, the two came to the competition venue. Because of the incident with Nazi, not many people are in the gym. After the two of them took their positions, Chuji released the Pokémon first. Alakazam, if that's the case, Boss Rhino, go ahead. Zhang Yu saw an old face, and he didn't have any Pokémon that could restrain Psychic-type Pokémon, so he decided to let Rhino try the water first. I clearly only took out one Pokeball, so why did two red lights come out? Iron Shell Kun? How did you get out too? Zhang Yu looked at the yellowish-brown insect pupae that also appeared on the field, and was a little confused. Taikikan didn't say anything, but his body was shaking violently. In this state, is it possible? Chuji seemed to have noticed something, and his tone was a little surprised. White light shines in front of Zhang Yu. Evolution. Buzz buzz buzz, the sound of wings vibrating came, and Zhang Yu was numb. It's not just once or twice that the way and time of my Pokémon's evolution seems a bit unique. Hiss. A yellow bee more than 1 meter long appeared on the field. In fact, the iron shell cricket has been in the pupa form for several months, and it is almost time for it to evolve. Some time ago, I witnessed Zhang Yu and a group of Pokémon veterans shooting a video. I also want to participate, but I can only stay where I am. Strong desire and sufficient energy gather in its body. Taikikan, I feel like I'm about to explode. Finally today, it felt the atmosphere of battle outside the Pokeball. If we don't evolve now, when will we evolve? Chapter 82, Beedrill has two more faces? A simple battle. Normally, a ferruginous stork can evolve into a giant hornet in a week or a month, but Zhang Yu's ferruginous stork seems to have some special talents. But it may also be that life is too comfortable. Every day, I just eat, sleep, and play. I don't have to worry about running around in the forest. After all, in Evergreen Forest, it and other unicorns not only had to avoid their natural enemies, Pidgeot and Spearow, but also had to guard against more bug-catching guys than Pikachu. In order to avoid any accidents when pupating, each of the iron shell scorpions tried their best to quickly evolve into giant scorpions so that they could fight. After the giant bee transformed from its pupa form, it turned around and raised its double needles towards Zhang Yu. You wanna play this game? Zhang Yu looked at the belligerent look of the giant bee, which was completely different from the steady look of the unicorn beetle. Well, since you're motivated, it's your turn. Hoo-ha, I have no objection. The honest and simple rhino boss was taken back. The giant bee took its place and stood on the field menacingly. No matter how many times I see it, the light of evolution is always so fascinating. Chuji clapped his hands. There were examples of people evolving before a match, and even suddenly bursting into energy before losing consciousness, so he was not surprised. However, this was the first time he had seen a Pokémon evolve from a Pokeball on its own. If it evolves, I will attack with all my strength. Alakazam. Psychic Blade. Chuji's face became serious and he gave orders loudly. Alakazam is already a veteran. It has fought countless Pokémon like Beedrill. Swinging the spoon skillfully, a purple blade materialized and shot towards the Beedrill. Zhang Yu was startled. This hoodie's skills were released quickly and accurately. He shouted hurriedly. Use high-speed movement to dodge. Hiss. The giant bee's wings vibrated suddenly, narrowly avoiding the spiritual blade. Shhh. No, better be steady. Zhang Yu also realized that the opponent was too powerful to be defeated, so he had to proceed step by step. Missile Needle. Drill's twin needles immediately pointed at Alakazam, and it fired long needles one after another. Hoo-hoo! Without Akasuk's command, Alakazam used teleportation to dodge the attack. Psychic shock. Chuji continued to command. Another powerful superpower strikes. The giant bee can only dodge repeatedly. It's a pity that he just evolved and encountered such a strong enemy. Don't lose heart. Listen to me and keep harassing Alakazam with your missile needles. Zhang Yu's mind raced as he came up with a plan. The beedrill has 2 needles, and it flies and shoots like a machine gun. Alakazam kept using instant teleportation to dodge. Chuji didn't know what kind of fighting style Zhang Yu used. He couldn't hit the Alakazam, so he used missile needles to shoot. However, as the owner of the museum, he still felt something was wrong. Alakazam, find the right opportunity and concentrate your energy. The continuous teleportation made Alakazam a little exhausted. The strength of this giant bee was much stronger than the one he had encountered before. The missiles were fired so fast and in such large numbers that I almost got hit several times. Finally, in the gap between the opponent's shots, Alakazam's eyes glowed blue and he looked at Beedrill. Zhang Yu did not retreat but moved closer, shouting at the Beedrill, "Charge! Use hold on!" Hiss! The giant bee swooped down on Alakazam without hesitation, and was hit hard by a powerful mental attack. But because he held on, he did not lose consciousness. At this time, Beedrill was very close to Alakazam, and both Pokémon could see their own reflections in each other's eyes. Now! Turn back quickly! Sizzle! Wealth and honor come from risk. Do it! A surge of power surged out of Drill's body, and in front of Akasuk and Alakazam's surprised eyes, the double needles in its hands hit Alakazam's kidney fiercely. Hit the vital point. The insect premonition characteristic is activated. The damage of insect-type moves is increased. The effect was unexpectedly good, at least beyond Zhang Yu's expectations. He didn't know much about the characteristics, but he knew that the insect type restrained the psychic type. Alakazam was hit hard. If it hadn't used self-regeneration the moment it was attacked, it would probably have been ready to eat by now. After the giant bee quickly turned back and hit the target, it instantly turned into red light and returned to the poke ball. It was replaced by the big sister, the Queen of Flowers. What a brilliant tactic! I underestimated you, Au. Chuji came to his senses. The incident happened suddenly. He didn't expect the opponent to use such a desperate attack. But how many times can you use this tactic? Zhang Yu smiled awkwardly, thinking, except for the newbie Dragonite and the Camera Porygon, he still has 3 such brave Pokémon. Dafu! The Queen Flower couldn't wait any longer. She hadn't stretched her muscles for a long time. Very Queen Flower, Leaf Storm! In order to prevent Huda from hiding again, Zhang Yu chose to attack the entire field. As early as the time of Stinky Flower, Tyrannosaurus had already fought against Alakazam. It opened its arms and a huge amount of grass energy gathered in front of it. Stop it! Alakazam! Use triple attack! Hoo-hoo! Alakazam, who had just recovered, immediately waved the spoon, and 3 rays of red, yellow and blue shot at the Queen Flower. However, because his strength has not fully recovered and his waist is still aching, he cannot use superpower moves that require mental strength for the time being. Defo! The Queen Flower patted her belly, feeling as if she had been bitten by a bug. Attack! Zhang Yu shouted, the defense of the Queen of Flowers is getting stronger and stronger. If it is not a tribute restraint, it can generally withstand it. A green storm blew up on the field, instantly engulfing Alakazam's figure. After the storm, Chuji took back Alakazam with an embarrassed look on his face. He seemed to have been played the pig and eaten the tiger. His second Pokémon is the Dreaming Tapir, which is also the Pokémon that Zhang Yu has fought before. The best thing about the dream-inducing tapir is hypnosis, so Chuji naturally used this trick. You hypnotize? Then I hypnotize too. Very Queen Flower, hypnotic powder. The yellow powder spread out, and the 2 Pokémon soon fell into a deep sleep. No, I think you are targeting me. Chuji didn't expect to end the second battle so easily. He released the 3rd Pokémon with a look of doubt on his face. Alakazam and Dreamcatcher are the Pokémon he mainly cultivates. The 3rd one is a gorilla that he caught in Chengdu last week. Huh? A Pokémon I've never seen before. Zhang Yu was a little curious, so he took out the illustrated book and looked at it. Ding dish, sure enough, it's a patience Pokémon. It is said that this Pokémon chooses to live secretly in the dark in order to cover up its black tail. Patience Pokémon. Seeing the constipated expression on his face, it seems that he can really endure it. In that case, Sea Thorn Dragon, it's decided to be you. Beep touch. The Sea Dragon also looked at Quarren Wang curiously. The other party stood there motionless like a piece of wood. Qiu Ji frowned and put his hand on his forehead. I'm so stupid, really. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have pretended and had to accept the challenge immediately. Now, looking at the old man standing there in a daze, Qiu Ji also had a headache. But he still pretended to be mysterious, kept silent and waited for the Sea Dragon to attack. Chapter 83. The simple Zhang Yu is taking away the golden badge. After waiting for several minutes, seeing that Guo Ranwang and Qiu Ji both looked constipated, Zhang Yu could not help it and let the Sea Thorn Dragon make a tentative attack. Use water guns to see the opponent's strengths and weaknesses. Beep touch. The Sea Dragon sprayed a small stream of water towards Quarren Wang. Suddenly something strange happened, and with a cry of Sana's. Sure enough, a red light shone from Wang's body, and a stream of water that had become much thicker shot back intact. The Sea Dragon dodged quickly. But after this attack, Wang disappeared without a trace. Zhang Yu seemed to have figured out something. Sea Thorn Dragon, try using the water gun again, use the smallest possible power. Puff! A stream of water as thick as a chopstick was released again. Sure enough, the same red light flashed across Wang's body, and he responded with another shot from the enhanced water gun. So that's it. Zhang Yu thought quickly. Qiu Ji was a little overwhelmed, but he still didn't say anything. As expected, Wang didn't have any means of attack, but he had strong defense and counter-attack. He wanted to see how Zhang Yu would break the situation. Will the attack be returned double? This is indeed a tricky thing. Sea Thorn Dragon, use snow scenarios. Zhang Yu thought of a way. Beep touch. Unlike praying for rain, this time the Sea Dragon just twisted its body and snowflakes began to fall on the field. Yes, then use the freezing wind to cool down the space. The venue was getting colder and colder, Zhang Yu even took out his coat and put it on. The Sea Dragon also uses tidal vortex to wrap itself to prevent hypothermia. Poor Quarren was shivering in the snow. Because of the weather, he couldn't reflect the moves. I could only resist and soon fell into a frozen state. Stop! You won! Let the Sea Thorn Dragon stop using its moves. Qiu Ji couldn't pretend anymore, he was shivering with cold, he seriously doubted what was wrong with Zhang Yu's brain. There are too many tricks. Are all trainers like this now? Vampire, use sunny day. Zhang Yu released the Queen Flower, replacing the snow scene with a sunny day. The temperature in the venue gradually rose and the snow began to melt. The two took back the Pokémon, left quickly, and returned to the hall. With a complicated look on his face, Qiu Ji took out the golden badge and gave it to Zhang Yu. He felt the same way Li Jia once felt. You are very strong. I hope you can bring these tactics to the Quartz Conference and continue to develop them. Qiu Ji came up with a bad idea. He didn't want to be the only one to suffer losses. He let Zhang Yu go to the competition and severely punish those naive trainers. It would definitely be interesting. I must record the video myself when the time comes. Thinking of this, he was no longer depressed and happily put the badge in Zhang Yu's hand. Ha ha ha, I will, thank you for your support. The simple Zhang Yu agreed readily, put the golden badge into the badge box, and left the gym. Do. Zhang Yu was very happy, whistling as he walked on the road. He accomplished a lot of things today, helped Nancy who was addicted to games, helped Iron-Shelled Kunkka evolve into Beedrill, and also got the golden badge. It's time to go to Evergreen City. Then I can record my life briefly. Zhang Yu has decided to make videos, so he has to shoot them frequently. However, he did not take any photos during the Pokémon battles, because he always felt that his fighting style was a little different from everyone else's. Positive energy, positive energy. After releasing Porygon and other Pokémon, Zhang Yu fixed his phone on a bench by the roadside. Then he rode on the back of the unicorn, with the King of Flowers and the Sea Dragon standing on the left and right, the Beedrill and the Porygon flying above his head, and even the Dragonite came out briefly to take pictures with him, poking its head into the camera. Eggplant. Under Zhang Yu's loud lead, all the Pokémon responded in unison with bright smiles on their faces. Click. With a crisp sound, the mobile phone, which was precisely controlled by Porygon through the wireless network, successfully captured this precious moment. That's great, that's great. Now that I have a mobile phone, I will record my life more often in the future. This is also the manifestation of my coming into this world. In the photo, the scene is frozen on Zhang Yu and Pokémon's smiling faces. Big breakthrough. Meow meow. You are so amazing. Xiaojiro hugged Meow Meow and said excitedly. Hehe, this is nothing, Meow, I just made a prototype, and I need to keep updating it, Meow. It turns out that the Game City has successfully developed a video software. From now on, people with mobile phones can watch videos on it. However, if they want to publish videos, they still need to go through review. Today, everyone with a cell phone in the Kanto region received a message. Pokémon video software, Poke TV, officially launched today. Next is the announcement introduction function. Countless people clicked in curiously, and what they saw was the trio. The 10-minute introduction gave everyone an understanding of the role of Pokémon TV. Someone tried to post a video but was reminded that they were not qualified. Why do we need to review the information? A bald-headed man from a motorcycle yelled angrily. He originally wanted to post a video to show off his motorcycle, but he didn't expect this to happen. But there are still many people who have qualified. Among them are Zhang Yu and various big names who are friendly with the rockets. Pokémon TV? Kojiro and the others are really quick. Zhang Yu, who was on his way to Changqing City, also received the message. Also qualified to post videos. Clicking the upload button, he uploaded the first episode of The Return of the Dragon King that he had filmed before. Not only him, but some other qualified people also posted videos, but most of them were landscape shots or selfies. After waiting for a while, Zhang Yu saw that there was no movement in his video, so he turned off his phone. Let's wait and see. He believes in the power of this short play, but it still needs time to ferment. Chapter 84. Pokémon short video is online. With the first batch of popular Pokémon, Meow Meow received a message from Zhang Yu 2 days ago, saying that she wanted to record a video and send it to him. But apart from the weird writing, there's nothing else wrong with it. I'm so tired of fixing bugs recently, it feels like the little gold coins don't shine anymore. Meow Meow lay on the sofa, took off the small gold coin on his head and wiped it gently with a tissue. That's good. Put the gold coin on his head again, and Meow Meow lies down while browsing his phone. Just in time to check out the video feature that was launched not long ago. What's all this mess, Meow? I flipped through several pages, and they were mostly selfies, travel videos, and some introductions to Pokémon. There are still a lot of people watching, but Meow Meow is not interested in these. If you want to learn about Pokémon, just use the Pokédex, Meow. But Meow Meow forgot that not everyone has a picture book. Pokémon, Return of the Dragon King? What is this? Suddenly it saw a familiar figure, and upon closer inspection, it saw that it was Au. Watch carefully. Along with the picture, Zhang Yu's voice came from the phone. The novel plot video attracted Meow Meow's attention. It has also seen the Pokémon movie, but this is the first time it has seen a plot video on a mobile phone. After watching a 10-minute short drama, a cat suddenly jumped out at the end of the video and said to the camera, "Follow Au Meow, follow Au, thank you Meow." The lazy Meow Meow instantly jumped up from the sofa. The face turned red. Great! Au, Meow Meow has you in my heart, and you kicked Meow Meow into the ditch. I didn't feel anything when I recorded the video, but now I feel so ashamed. Meow Meow called Zhang Yu angrily. Dudu hello. Zhang Yu, who was on his way to Changqing City, suddenly received a call from Meow Meow and asked curiously. What's wrong, Meow? Call me when you have time. Au. Didn't you say you wouldn't do anything weird with my video? Meow Meow screamed in anger. Hey! Don't dare to say anything. What did I do with your video? Zhang Yu was startled. What kind of lewd words is Meow Meow saying? That's the return of the Dragon King Meow. What I said at the end Meow. Speaking of this, Zhang Yu remembered. Ahem, meow meow, I know you're anxious, but don't be anxious yet. I'm doing this for your own good. Think about it, if people see my video, they'll see you. If I become famous, then you'll be famous too. Besides, when you sent me the video, you said, feel free to use it, meow. We are friends. Zhang Yu imitated the tone of meow and said. That's true, but this is too embarrassing, meow. Meow meow is just a little shy. He is not used to being seen by many people on the phone. But, speaking of fame, if I become famous, can I let Madonna see me? The following is the little drama in Meow Meow's mind. Madonna walked towards Meow Meow, wagging her tail. Meow Meow, you're a famous person now, so cool. It's nothing, meow. Meow Meow suppressed her inner excitement and pretended to be reserved. I like it so much, meow meow, you're so handsome. Nadina came over and rubbed Meow Meow's neck. Meow Meow's hair instantly stood up. Hey, I like you too, Madonna. Goo-hee meow. Hey. Meow Meow, what's wrong with you? Hearing the strange laughter coming from the other end of the phone, Zhang Yu was speechless. Why did Meow Meow suddenly stop talking? Ahem, meow, I suddenly thought of something happy. Videos and such are fine, meow, just use them. I have something else to do, so I'll hang up first, meow. Do. Strange meow. Zhang Yu muttered, and started browsing his phone. I haven't checked my videos for a few days. Maybe someone has seen them now. I clicked on my homepage and found that the number of views had reached tens of thousands, and there were many comments in the comments section. The plot is so exciting, especially the last meow, which is also very cute. Posted 2 minutes ago. Pin the comment, and you can tell at a glance that Meow Meow used her permissions to do it herself. Great, little Meow Meow has 2 faces. He was questioning himself just now, but now he is praising himself again. Read on. Awesome. That's awesome. It feels so good to be slapped in the face by the Dragon King. That's right, no, I also want to catch a seahorse to evolve. Am I the only one who thinks that Queen Flower is very charming? Push for more updates. Zhang Yu couldn't help but laugh when reading the comments. Sure enough, the sand sculpture netizens are full of joy. Then he uploaded the sequel, and now he has hundreds of fans. She is considered the first generation of internet celebrities. Well, shooting the plot is too tiring, so I'll just shoot some daily life and establish the character. The distance between Jinhuang City and Changqing City is quite far, and Zhang Yu has only walked half of the way. When it's lunchtime, all the Pokémon are released and everyone eats together. Although Pokémon consumes very little energy in the Pokeball, 1 meal a day is enough to sustain life. However, Zhang Yu still likes the feeling of everyone being together, as this makes them feel at home. So every time I cook, I will release all the Pokémon, unless there is something urgent and I don't have time to cook. Zhang Yu came to a small river and prepared to rest here. The Porygon camera flew into the air, filming everyone busy at work. Deifu. Queen Flower and one horned rhino picked some fruits from the woods nearby. Seathorn Dragon and Dragonite caught a few Magikarp from the stream, and with the help of Beedrill, they removed the inedible parts and brought them to Zhang Yu. Oh! Thank you, Beedrill. Today we're having pickled fish. The giant bee flew back to the woods to cut small branches for firewood. Zhang Yu first cut the fish into slices, added salt and cooking wine, and marinated it. Then cut the limu and cherry fruit into small pieces. Limu fruit increases the sour taste, while cherry fruit increases the spicy taste. At this time, the giant bee also flew over with a bundle of firewood. Light the fire. Heat the oil in the pan. Sizzle the oil soon heated up. Zhang Yu took out a can of pickled cabbage from his backpack and poured it into the pot. Then he added onions, ginger, garlic, chili peppers and various seasonings. Add water and bring to a boil, then add limu and cherry fruit for flavor. After the vegetables are cooked, take them out and put them in a bowl. Use the remaining soup to cook the fish fillets. Because Magikarp meat is too hard, normally the fish fillet only needs to be cooked for 1 minute, but this time it took a full 10 minutes. The Pokémon have already smelled the fragrance, and no matter how many times they eat their trainer's food, they can never get enough. High-end ingredients often only require simple cooking methods. While cooking other dishes, Zhang Yu explained. Porygon recorded all of this. Go. The fish is cooked, and finally poured into the bowl with the soup, sprinkled with a layer of pepper, sesame, etc., and drizzled with hot oil. A delicious pickled cabbage carp king is ready. Of course, this is just the main course. Later, Zhang Yu made various dishes according to the different preferences of his Pokémon. Here, Queen Flower, this is your favorite fried sparrow eggs with limoncello. There's also the kelp mixed slowpoke tail that Caesaurus and Dragonite like. The one-horned rhino eats everything, while the giant horned bee eats rice and makes. I'm starting. Seeing that Pokémon were eating, Zhang Yu also joined the army of eating. Chapter 85, The Influence of the Pokémon World. Cooperation with the Alliance. Oh right. We kept talking about going to Viridian City, and I forgot to check who the leader of the Viridian Gym is. Zhang Yu sat on the back of the one-horned rhino, slapped his head, picked up his phone and started searching. He was surprised when he searched. It's actually Boss Sakeke. Wow! He's really a hidden talent. One is the boss of the game city, and the other is the gym leader. But then again, I feel weird challenging Boss Sakeke. Zhang Yu looked at the introduction of the Evergreen Gym on his phone and fell into deep thought. A lot of changes have taken place in the Kanto region in the past month. Although ordinary people didn't feel anything, the Guandu Alliance was discussing something fiercely. Inside an office in Quartz Plateau. 4 people in different outfits sat on the 4 sides of the rectangular table. Everyone, I called you here today to discuss the recent Pokémon Network incident involving Team Rocket. The man with the red afro sitting in the upper seat spoke first, then looked at the others. A woman with long wine-red hair and a hot body sitting on the left took over the conversation and said, "Isn't this good? Team Rocket is no longer causing trouble, so we can relax a little. As for the internet and stuff, I also watched it, it's quite interesting." A blonde old lady opposite her also continued, "Kona is right. With the strength of the alliance, although it is not difficult to punish the Rockets, it is very troublesome to solve the problem once and for all. It would be best if they could turn over a new leaf. Didn't they capture a small leader of a hunter organization as a token of their allegiance to us some time ago?" The blonde old lady looked at the Afro man's face and continued. "If Team Rocket really wants to whitewash themselves, we can help them, but we will also have to take some benefits, what do you think?" "Do." The Afro man, Wattery, nodded. He would still listen carefully to the advice of his senior, Kikyuko. As for Kona, who was sitting on the left, she didn't care about alliance politics or anything like that. She just wanted to relax. If the Quartz conference wasn't about to start, she would have gone to the Orange Islands for vacation. Finally, Du turned his attention to a muscular man sitting across the table. "Shiba, what do you think?" The muscular man Shiba stood up and said seriously, "I have the same idea as Senior Kikyuko. As long as Team Rocket can pay off the bad things they have done over the years, I will agree to let them clean up their act." Du nodded, thought for a while, and made up his mind. After the others left, he made a phone call. Apollo placed one hand on his chest and respectfully reported the results of the negotiation with Wattery to Sakeke. After listening to his subordinate's report, Sakeke pondered for a long time, and finally said, "Okay, but I need to keep the Pokémon network firmly in the hands of the organization, and no outsiders can come into the core members." The Rockets suffered a heavy loss in this negotiation. Not only did they have to pay a huge amount of compensation, but they also had to stop engaging in evil activities and work with the League to fight against various evil organizations. It's like the sword of the Alliance. But the League didn't bite too hard. As long as the League has top-notch combat power, it won't be afraid of the Rockets turning over flowers. However, now that he has been cleansed, Sakeke can openly expand his power through formal channels. Although he is not interested in this now. Invest 80% of the organization's funds in the development of the Pokémon Network and the Mutuo project. If necessary, some external members can be laid off. I want to see a complete Pokémon Network before the Quartz conference. Sakeke threw away the cigar in his hand and left the room. Apollo remained where he was, bowing his head respectfully. Although the Rockets are seriously injured, it is mainly due to the reduction of members and insufficient funds. But these are not serious problems, and the Pokémon Network is becoming more and more popular day by day. From Yahung City, it has now spread to the entire Kanto region. The game city was officially renamed Pokémon Network Technology Co., Ltd. Focus on the development of Pokémon World and network upgrades. Except for the chip, all other hardware of the mobile phone is produced by the Alliance, and finally accepted by the rockets and released. The phone's boot screen was also changed to a Q version of a rocket launch screen. All this changed very quickly. Zhang Yu had only been away from Golden City for a week. Riding a unicorn is much slower than flying. Zhang Yu stopped and walked along the way, not in a hurry at all, and only walked a short distance a day. I shot a lot of vlogs with Pokémon. Now he is already a little famous on the internet, with more than 30,000 fans, almost the same as Xiao Gang, the owner of the museum. During this period, many businessmen approached him to bring goods, but they were all rejected. He is not interested in money, and he has plenty of money now. As the raw material provider of Yahung Courage perfume and the game consultant of Pokémon Network Technology Co., Ltd., the combined monthly income of the two jobs is nearly 6 yuan. I have no worries about food and clothing. So now he enjoys traveling more and experiencing the world. During this period, the mobile phone has been constantly updated and has half of the functions on the Earth. Poke TV has activated the live broadcast function. Looking at the message notification on the phone, Zhang Yu curiously clicked on it. Of course, the conditions for live broadcasting are also very strict, but Zhang Yu, who has an internal identity, easily passed the review. The polygon that connected the network to itself flew skillfully into the air and turned on the live broadcast function. Hello, hello. Hello everyone, I'm Au. Zhang Yu greeted the camera. Having shot many videos before, he was not nervous at all when facing the live broadcast. Soon, several people came into the live broadcast room. One of the netizens, who has been called Almighty Dad for many years, posted a comment. Au. I'm Xiao Gang, are you still traveling? Zhang Yu looked at the online name and laughed. It really fits Xiao Gang. After following Xiao Gang in the background, he chatted with him privately. Yes, I already have 7 badges and I'm on my way to Evergreen City. Xiao Gang saw Zhang Yu's reply and realized that it was not a good idea to talk about private matters on a public channel. That's awesome, Au. Are you still riding the same unicorn as before? It looks like it's developing very well. It should be evolving soon. Zhang Yu heard what Xiao Gang said and looked down at the rhino boss. Its horn had become much longer and shinier. It really looked like it was about to evolve. Evolution? Maybe. Just go with the flow. By the way, Xiao Gang, aren't you supposed to take care of your brothers and sisters? How do you have time to watch the live broadcast? Xiao Gang smiled awkwardly when he heard Zhang Yu's question. Well, it's all thanks to you. Xiao Gang has been much more relaxed recently. Since the emergence of the Pokémon Network, gym leaders in the Kanto region have all received mobile phones from the game city. Xiao Gang is no exception. After learning the functions of the phone, he sometimes takes some videos to record his life. One day, I gave Jiro my phone to play with. After Jiro made a video saying that his brother raised a lot of rhinos, many trainers privately chatted with him. I hope to adopt a one-horned rhino. I am willing to work in the gym and help. Although the one-horned rhino is inconspicuous, it usually appears in groups. It is not easy to catch one without strong fighting power. So Xiaogang's fans increased rapidly in a short time. After learning about this situation, he agreed to the netizens' request after careful consideration. However, if you want to get the unicorn, it is not as simple as just helping. You also need to go through your own tests. This process not only screened out those who wanted to be lazy, but also made their lives much easier. The Deep Grey Gym also became more famous. Killing 3 birds with 1 stone, Xiao Gang is still very happy. I see. That couldn't be better. Zhang Yu was also a little surprised. He didn't expect this to be the reason. However, as a friend, he was also very happy to see that Xiao Gang was no longer so tired. Au, you go live first. Someone's here to challenge the gym. I'll go check it out. Come to Deep Grey City when you have time. Xiao Gang heard Jiro calling him, so he ended the conversation. It's great to help others through the internet. Zhang Yu also returned to the live broadcast interface. After a while, there were many more viewers in the live broadcast room. There were a few highly recognizable comments that made him laugh and cry. Chapter 86. Zhang Yu prepares to set up camp on the spot and officially starts live streaming his daily travel life. Porygon was filming in the air, while Zhang Yu was watching the comments on his phone. Wow, it's only been a short while and thousands of people have already seen it. Super power game, Big Brother, Pokémon 97, please give me some stamina, I have used it all up. Just want to sleep, where is this? Don't call me loud dang. Friends in the live broadcast room, does anyone know how to treat hair loss? No need to ask, the first comment is Nancy. Zhang Yu smiled, Naji, you are playing video games again, take a break. Xiao Nazi, who was lying on the bed watching the live broadcast, curled her lips when she heard Zhang Yu's words. Ugh! Why is this happening? In order to avoid being told by her older brother, Nazi quickly left the live broadcast room. Seeing so much information, Zhang Yu jumped off the unicorn's back and introduced to the camera. Ahem, hello everyone, I'm a Yu, and I'm on my way to challenge the last gym, the Evergreen Gym. It will probably take another 2 days to reach Changqing City. Before that, I plan to take a rest. Then, Porygon turned the camera to the side. Defo. When Queen Flower saw the Porygon flying in front of her, she waved her hands twice to greet everyone. As a senior actor, he now has a strong sense of camera. What is this? The Queen of Flowers from Return of the Dragon King. Some viewers quickly recognized the Queen Flower. Suddenly, the comments were full of excitement. Many people liked this short play. The film and television industry in Kanto is not well developed, so the Return of the Dragon King attracted a lot of attention as soon as it was released. And it doesn't require any brain power, the main point is a cool. For the straightforward people of Kanto, this is just the right time to hit the target. After saying hello, Queen Flower continued to chop wood skillfully with the sunlight blade. It is preparing firewood for tonight. Hiss! The giant bee flew over with a few pieces of wood and placed them in front of the Queen Flower. Its double needles can break wood, but if you want to split it into small pieces, it is not very convenient, so you still have to use the King Flower. Giant bee drill. Sakeke, who was watching the live broadcast, looked at the hard-working little bees and a look of nostalgia appeared on his face. Sakeke feels it is quite interesting for the game consultant who comes to challenge him. Zhang Yu took out the tent, put wooden wedges in the 4 corners, and then shouted to the one-horned rhino. Boss Rhino, it's up to you. Hi! Knock knock knock! He skillfully used his sturdy hooves to press the wooden wedge into the soil, and then Zhang Yu crawled into the tent, smoothed the inside, and put the leather baby pillow he bought on it. Zhang Yu likes this pillow very much. It feels as good as a real leather baby. After coming out of the tent, Zhang Yu released the sea dragon and washed his hands with a water gun. As a result, the barrage suddenly exploded. Welcome the Dragon King. My wife is Gardevoir, how dare you? You actually let the Dragon King wash your hands. Admiral Giant Claw Crab, the Dragon King must have a deep meaning for doing this. Ignoring the silly comments, Zhang Yu brought a few Pokémon to an open space. The camp is ready. If you have nothing to do, why not do some special training? Whenever Zhang Yu has free time these days, he will take the Pokémon to train. To face Sakeke, he must be prepared. But now that we're broadcasting live, I can't reveal my tactics. It would be bad if Sakeke is watching. In that case, let's practice combination moves. That's right, Zhang Yu used his imagination again and started to make something happen. Come to think of it, I haven't used a combo skill in a long time. Boss Rhino, use rock blockade and create several stone pillars. Zhang Yu pointed to the open space ahead, and the one-horned rhino stepped forward with its front legs. Boom! 4 stone pillars rose from the ground, with Queen Flower, Sea Thorn Dragon, Giant Beedrill, and one-horned rhino standing in front of each stone pillar. As for Dragonite, it can't stay on land all the time, and its skin is easily dried and worn out, so it stays in the poke ball. The people in the live broadcast room also looked at Zhang Yu curiously. Everyone has seen the method of training Pokémon. It is nothing more than endurance, speed, strength, and so on. But looking at the anchor, it doesn't look like the general public's training method. First is the Queen of Flowers, let me think. Well, use your magic leaf to attack the stone pillar first. Zhang Yu walked behind the female boss and gave orders. Defo. The queen flower nodded, waved its two arms towards the stone pillar, and several magic leaves flew out. The powerful force directly caused the leaves to sink into the stone pillar, leaving only the tail leaves trembling and making a buzzing sound. Hiss. Sakeke, who was watching the live broadcast, was extremely surprised. This queen of flowers seemed to be different. Not only was her body size bigger than the ordinary queen of flowers, her strength was also terrifyingly great. Zhang Yu is very satisfied with the magic leaf move, but the disadvantage is that the obvious trajectory is too easy to dodge. Hey! I got it! Queen flower, can you hold the magic leaf in your hand? Defo. Since the queen flower can launch leaves, it can naturally hold the leaves. Soon two magic leaves appeared in its hands. Very well, keep it up. In this way, the overlord flower lasted for 2 minutes before the magic leaf slowly dissipated. Then try the sunlight blade. Swish! The queen flower suddenly pulled out a long energy knife. Unlike the small dagger used for chopping wood, the sunlight blade in combat mode only lasted for a few seconds before disappearing. As expected, the energy consumption of the magic leaf is much less than that of the sunlight blade. In this case, vampire. Use the grass slide to rush to the stone pillar, then take the magic leaf in your hand and throw it out at high speed. Defo. The female hero was already very skilled in this kind of small combo. She responded instantly after hearing Zhang Yu's command. Grass energy appeared under his feet, and he slid out, and the next second he appeared 2 meters away from the stone pillar. With a turn, the two blades in his hands flew out like missiles. Puff! There were two muffled sounds, and this time the magic leaf penetrated deeply into the stone pillar and disappeared. What is Yan Fan? Li Jia, who was originally very sleepy, immediately widened her eyes, staring at the phone screen. This combo! It's too outrageous! She also has a queen flower, a grass slide and magic leaves. However, the former is generally used to avoid attacks, while the latter is used as a means of consumption. How come when it comes to Zhang Yu, it turns into a melee move? Defo. After quickly throwing out the magic leaf, the queen flower slid down the grass again and returned to Zhang Yu. Well done! Queen flower! This move is called Unexpected Magic Leaf. What do you think? Da. Husband. This question is difficult to answer for Tyrannosaurus Rex, after all, it is just a Pokémon. The female boss pretended not to understand and stared at Zhang Yu blankly. Everyone in the live broadcast room. Forget it, let's just call it Magic Leaf Type 2, it's more convenient. Zhang Yu smiled awkwardly. The name he just came up with was indeed a bit childish. Great then. Next up is Drill's Combo. Chapter 87, Hot Tactical Training. 36 Strategies with Pokémon. The three Pokémon watching the battle also had a clearer understanding of the strength of the big sister, the Queen Flower. Beeb. The big sister is so scary, I can't stand up to her. Hoo-ha. Old cow is used to it. Hiss. It seems that I'd better keep clinging to my boss from now on. Zhang Yu looked at the three dazed Pokémon, wondering what they were thinking. Walked up to Beedrill and said, Beedrill, it's your turn. If you can fly. It can be used as a bomber. Sizzle. Beedrill didn't understand what Zhang Yu meant. How about this, Beedrill, you fly into the air first, and then follow my instructions. Yes, that's it. Fly to the middle of the stone pillar. Then the missile needles will gather together. And mix some poison needles in them. Zhang Yu shouted at the giant bee. Sizzle. The pairs of legs of the giant bee are constantly rubbing against each other. Finally, the missile needle and poison needle were rolled into a large conehead missile. Next, dive from high altitude. Throw the missile needle at the stone pillar. Zhang Yu hid behind the queen flower and asked the one-horned rhino to build a stone wall in advance to resist the shock wave. That oversized missile needle looks very oppressive. Don't let it get you hurt. Hiss. After receiving the command, the giant bee rushed into the sky with the missile needle, and then leaned down towards the stone pillar. When flying over the stone pillar, the giant bee loosened its insect legs, and the oversized missile needle hit the stone pillar with inertia. There was even a whoosh sound like fireworks being launched. Time seemed to stop for a moment. Then there was a huge explosion. The aggregate of hundreds of missile needles and poison needles has become very unstable after being compressed. After encountering a violent collision, an explosion occurred directly. The stone pillar was instantly blown to pieces. This is just the first wave. Then there was a shower of rubble and broken needles like a fragmentation grenade. It shot out from the center of the explosion, hitting the guard of the queen flower and the stone wall in front of the one-horned rhino. After the place calmed down, Zhang Yu and the other 3 Pokémon poked their heads out and looked at the mess in front of them in silence. Hiss! The giant bee flew over and lowered its head in grievance. No, it's okay, you did great. Zhang Yu touched his chin. This compressed missile needle was much more powerful than he had imagined. Especially after adding poison needles, there is also magic attack. However, the charging time is a bit too long. It is definitely not suitable for playing in competitions. Unless it is used in field battles, it can be used as a bomber. Summary: this is a good trick to scare people. The live broadcast room is numb. No, buddy, where do you get so many amazing ideas? You came here for the needle, right? Wouldn't it be better if we could all just get along and use missiles to target each other? At this time, Zhang Yu seemed to realize that something was wrong and said to the camera. Ahem, don't worry about it, I really don't know any moves, I was just hitting randomly. It's getting late, see you next time, bye. Then he quickly closed the live broadcast room. This kind of large-scale damage move can only be used at noon, because sooner or later something bad will happen. Zhang Yu's training video caused an uproar on the Guandu network. Sakaki and the beadrill beside him looked at the closed video and fell into deep thought. Perhaps, I should re-evaluate the strength of my game consultant. Zhang Yu didn't know that he had aroused Sakake's vigilance. He is currently trying to pair the moves of Sea Thorn Dragon and Rhino. Rotating water cannon, sounds like it might be a good idea. Sea Thorn Dragon, move at high speed, then spin in circles while using the water cannon. Zhang Yu suddenly had an idea and immediately ordered the Sea Thorn Dragon to try. Beep touch! The Sea Thorn Dragon couldn't wait any longer, so it used high-speed movement to increase its speed, then flicked its tail, jumped into the air and began to spin in circles. Puff! The thick water column was like a fairy scattering flowers in the air, shooting everywhere. Hoo-ha! The one-horned rhino shivered and hid behind a rock. If it hadn't dodged quickly, it would have been knocked over by the water cannon. The water system is 4 times restrained, I can't stand it at all. Beep touch! The sea dragon fell to the ground and put away its magical power. Even though Zhang Yu was hiding behind the protection of the queen flower, half of his clothes were still wet by the water. Wow, that's great, Sea Thorn Dragon, this is equivalent to your large-scale moves. However, we need to practice more. Dispersed attacks are still not as powerful as concentrated ones. We need to pray for rain first. Zhang Yu analyzed it and told Hai Silong about the training plan. The last one-horned rhino. Zhang Yu hasn't figured out a combo yet, but he can act according to circumstances. The one-horned rhino can dig holes, so there is a lot of room for maneuver. The rest of the time, several Pokémon have been practicing new combo skills. In order to avoid biting off more than he could chew, Zhang Yu did not continue to research new moves. Wait until they become proficient first. The rhino continued to create stone pillars for the other 3 Pokémon to use. In this way, Zhang Yu has free time again. Well, how can good moves be used without good tactics? He thought of the military strategies in the various history books he read on Earth. Soldiers who, deception also. Same thing, Pokémon enthusiasts, strategy too. Except for the mythical beasts, there is nothing much to say about their great power and ability to make bricks fly. So, along with this idea, the knowledge of the 2 worlds was integrated. Zhang Yu wrote the first Pokémon strategy book. Pokémon 36 Stratagems. However, there are still many areas that need to be improved. Let's make modifications during actual combat. Sakake, who was selecting Pokémon to challenge at the Evergreen Gym, suddenly shuddered. I always have a bad feeling. Zhang Yu was originally planning to move on, but because the Pokémon needed to practice new moves, he stayed for a few days. Day 4. The queen flower slid and slid as smooth as a Haclonian. When approaching the stone pillar in front of him, he made a sharp turn and slid to the other side. At the place where it had just left, the stone pillar had been pierced by the magic leaf, leaving 2 light-transmitting cuts. The number of missile needles of Beedrill has been changed. This time, 5 of them are gathered together in a group, with a poison needle mixed in the middle. SHHHHH. The condensed missile needle flew towards the stone pillar without slowing down. Boom boom boom. Each bullet caused a small explosion. This is Zhang Yu's latest research result. It sacrifices the large-scale killing of the missile needle in exchange for the original speed and small explosion splash effect. The advantage is low energy consumption and fast condensation speed. If you use poison needles for everything, the energy consumption will be huge. The Seathorn dragon starts praying for rain as soon as it enters the arena. After the ground was full of puddles, its high-speed movement was like a fish in water. Plus, the power of water-based moves is enhanced during rainy days. The water energy in the air is also constantly replenished by the consumption of the water cannon. It seems to be the most powerful of the 3 Pokémon. Great! Everyone is great! After the Queen of Flowers released a bright sunny day and dispelled the dark clouds, Zhang Yu put down the umbrella in his hand. I clapped my Pokémon. I've practiced well. With this, I'm sure to get the green badge. Defo. His. Beep touch. Chapter 88. Arriving at Changqing City. Elementary school student Xiaoan. After finishing the training, Zhang Yu rode the unicorn all the way to Changqing City. It also rained a little during the period. The temperature in the Kanto area was getting colder and colder. Zhang Yu also put on long-sleeved shirts and long pants. Finally, on the afternoon of the second day after departure, we entered Changqing City. Changqing City is a medium-sized city with a lot of people. There are many insect catchers coming from the direction of Changqing Forest. Zhang Yu got off the one-horned rhino and walked along while enjoying the scenery of Changqing City. Jingle bell! When we were about to reach the Pokémon Center, a building next to us made a sound similar to the bell for the end of school. Great! School is over. Then a group of children in school uniforms and blue and white berets ran out of the building gate like wild horses. Hey, that is! Zhang Yu then noticed that there was a school next to it. On the wall next to the gate there is a row of large characters, Trainer School. I haven't seen it in other cities. A group of children passed by Zhang Yu in a mighty procession, and then went back to their own homes, each looking for their own mothers. However, a little boy with red hair stopped beside him. Big brother, you look so familiar. The child looked at Zhang Yu's face and thought. Little brother, you got the wrong person, I don't know you. Is it because I have a physical body that attracts children? Why do I often meet children? Misty, Nancy, Satoshi, Xiaomao, Axing. But the little boy in front of him looked older than them, about 8 or 9 years old. Suddenly, the little boy clenched his fist and gently hit the palm of his other hand, and said with sudden enlightenment. I remember now. You are Big Brother Au. I've heard Dad mention you before, and I've even watched your live broadcast. Creating your own special moves, that's so cool. The little boy jumped up and down excitedly, and his voice was so loud that passers-by looked over. Hush, hey, kid, keep your voice down. Zhang Yu tapped her toes on the ground in embarrassment and quickly stopped the little boy from shouting. I strike hard online, but I am timid in real life. Mainly because I am not used to being recognized during live broadcasts. Right. You said, your father mentioned me? Who is your father? Zhang Yu was a little curious. Did he know anyone who could take care of the child? Aju is in Qianhong City, Xiao Gang is just his brother. My name is Xiaoan, and my father is the leader of the Evergreen Gym. His name is Sakeke. The little boy was a little proud when he talked about this. Anyone whose father is a gym leader would be proud. What's more, his father is also called Sakeke of the Earth. Good fellow. Zhang Yu lamented that his luck was really bad. He was about to ask Xiao Yin. Xiaoan suddenly jumped up and said, it's over. I was busy chatting with Big Brother and came home late. My dad will be angry again. Let's go first, brother Yu. I'll tell Dad that I met you today. Hey. Zhang Yu wanted to keep him for a while, but Xiao Yin turned around and ran away quickly. The children in the Pokémon world are so energetic. Swa. The sensor door of the Pokémon Center opened automatically, and Zhang Yu walked in. Miss Joy, please. I handed all my Pokémon to Joey to recover. Although there were no accidents during this nearly half-month trip. But the wind and sun along the way still tempered my will. Drip, 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 drip. The healing chamber behind Joey beeped a few times, and Joey returned the 6 Pokeballs to Zhang Yu. Your Pokémon are all very healthy, but Rhino seems to be a little fat, so you can control your diet a little bit. Zhang Yu took the Pokeball and was stunned for a moment. Oh, okay, thank you Miss Joy. Arriving at the square outside the Pokémon Center, Zhang Yu released the Rhino boss. Hoo-hoo. The Rhino boss was a little confused, but he still lay on the ground obediently. Well. I have gained weight, more than a little. Looking at the extra swimming ring under the Rhino boss. Zhang Yu nodded. Niu, I've decided. You will play as the forward tomorrow against Boss Sakeke. Hoo-hoo. Have you met Au? Sakeke smiled at his son. Apollo behind him walked out tactfully. Xiaoan said excitedly, yes. Dad, brother Au should be coming to us soon. I can't wait to learn combo moves with him. Seeing his happy son, Sakeke also smiled. Who would have thought that the former Rocket Boss, now the boss of Pokémon Network Technology Co., Limited, could have such a gentle side. Okay, when Au comes, I'll ask him to teach you. Dad has something to do now, you should go play with Aunt Mantori first. Okay Dad, equals carrot equals. Xiaoyan jumped out. After his son left, Sakeke's expression returned to calm. Apollo entered the room again. Boss, we are making good progress. The Mutuo project will be implemented soon. Then. Sakeke raised his hand to stop Apollo from saying the next words. Don't worry, wait for the organization to recover for a while, then connect the 3 regional networks of Guandu, Chengdu, and Fengyuan. By borrowing the power of Mutuo, we can truly realize our own online world. Apollo nodded immediately, but he asked again in confusion. Boss, are we going to ignore Team Aqua and Team Magma? They have been restless recently and have been trying to wake up Groudon and Kyogre. Sakeke lowered his head and thought for a while, then replied. Indeed, if they really awaken these 2 beasts, it will be a bit troublesome. Send Lance to handle this matter. If necessary, we can kill first and ask for permission later. Yes. The island between the 7 islands and the Orange Islands is called New Island. At this time, experiments were being carried out intensively inside the new island. Beginning to attempt information transfer. Dr. Fuji excitedly pressed a button. Several polygons in the laboratory, with data cables plugged into their bodies, made a slight buzzing sound. Then a faint light flashed, and the source of these data lines was the light purple Pokémon soaked in the nutrient solution Mutuo. Swa. Mutuo in the nutrient solution suddenly opened his eyes, but only for a moment before closing them again. Call. It was really thrilling. I felt like I was being stared at by a divine beast. Dr. Fuji exhaled, and then he found that his clothes were soaked with cold sweat. He waved his hand, signaling the Team Rocket members behind him to put away their Pokémon. At this time, a number of powerful Pokémon such as Bangiras, Charizard, and Metagross that were standing outside the laboratory to guard safety were taken back one after another. But these Pokémon don't look very lively, like clones. The experiment was quite successful. I can report the progress to my boss. Chapter 89, The One-Horned Rhino Teaching. And the studious Xiaoan. Dong dong squeak. Zhang Yu just knocked twice on the door of the Evergreen Gym, and the door opened by itself. Brother Au. I've been waiting for you for a long time. It turned out to be Xiaoyan behind the door, and then he shouted excitedly to the back. Dad. Brother Au is here. Zhang Yu walked in and looked forward. Boss Sakeke was standing in front of the sofa in the hall. He was still wearing a black suit and had a slicked back hair. He looked like a successful person. Good morning, Mr. Sakeke. Zhang Yu did not call him boss. He came here as a challenger, not as a job seeker. Sakeke walked over with steady steps. Au, long time no see. I have gained a lot from your talent. Zhang Yu scratched his head. Harvest? Make money? Ahaha, you're welcome. After all, we have signed a contract. After being modest, Zhang Yu then stated his purpose. Mr. Sakeke, I came here this time to challenge the Evergreen Gym. I hope you can accept my challenge. Sakeke had guessed it long ago, but he did not agree immediately. Instead, he looked at Xiaoan, who looked excited, and said helplessly. Okay, but before that, I hope you can do me a favor. It's a bit embarrassing to say that Xiaoan doesn't want to inherit my mantle, but is interested in Pokémon battles. After watching your live broadcast, this child was attracted by your wild ideas. I keep pestering you, saying that I'll let you teach him when you come. Sakeke was a bit troubled. This kid had a company to inherit, but he insisted on learning Pokémon battles. Although I don't object, I feel a headache when I think that my years of hard work may go to waste. I don't have that much time to teach him. Except for a few trusted people in the organization, the others are unreliable. In desperation, Sakeke had to put down his face and ask Zhang Yu for help. He knew many people and could tell that Zhang Yu was a reliable person. Looking at Sakeke's attitude towards the child, Zhang Yu was also a little confused. He had always thought that Sakeke was the type of person who would not tolerate being contradicted, and would not act like a spoiled brat even to a child, but now. Wonderful, really wonderful. What kind of company boss has a gentle father personality? Don't do this. Okay. I promise. However, I cannot guarantee that Silver will make great progress. After all, I am just a trainer with 7 badges. I didn't even qualify to attend the Quartz conference. Zhang Yu agreed. He could teach the boss's son himself and get Sakeke's favor. It wouldn't cost him much to play in the gym. As long as Sakeke doesn't run away, the badge will always be there. Great. Master Au. Xiaoan immediately changed the name, then took Zhang Yu's hand and said. Master Au. Let's get started now. I can't wait. He started teaching the children early in the morning. To be more precise, he was playing with the children. Zhang Yu sighed. I seem to have become the leader of the children. The interior of the Evergreen Gym is very spacious. In addition to the ordinary indoor venues, there is even a large courtyard with several different types of battle venues. Wow, you are really rich. It seems that the internet really makes a lot of money. Xiaoan, what do you want to learn? Zhang Yu has never been a teacher, so he doesn't know how to teach students. The only person he has taught is Lily AI. Master Au, I just want to know, how did you come up with the idea of combining Pokémon moves? We never learned this at the trainer school. Xiaoan disdains the rigid knowledge of school. He likes flexible fighting, like the King competition on TV, with various moves emerging one after another. However, I have never seen such an outrageous combination of skills as Master. Tisk, well. Can you say that I have been brainwashed by the Earth's internet? In order to attract attention, various game companies have released games, moves, characters, and super-stitched monsters. Come on, Silver, you do this, do you have Pokémon? Xiaoan took out a high-level ball and said. I have it, it's a gift from my father. Come out, on you. With a click, a small one-horned rhino was released from the advanced ball. It looks less than 1 meter long, so it should be a baby. Hoo-hoo. After the baby one-horned rhino came out of the ball, it rubbed Xiaoan's hand affectionately. Ha ha ha, good morning, on you, this is Master Au. Hi. The baby rhino responded, then ran to Zhang Yu and nodded. Hi. So smart. I feel smarter than the rhino boss. Although Zhang Yu felt that it was a bit bold to let a child raise a one-horned rhino, he felt relieved when he thought of Sakeke, the owner of the museum. As for the one-horned rhino, then you should come out too, boss rhino. Hi. Zhang Yu's one-horned rhino has reached a length of 2 meters. As soon as it appeared, Xiaoan and his baby rhino were frightened and took 2 steps back. So big. Hoo-ha. Humph. The big rhino curiously approached the baby rhino and sniffed the scent with his nose. Then he ran to Zhang Yu and shouted. I know it's in its infancy. I called you out today because I want you to cooperate with me. Xiaoan, what moves does your one-horned rhino know? Moves. Xiaoan tilted his head and thought about it, then said a few names. Zhang Yu thought for a moment and said. Actually, this is how I understand combination moves. First of all, we need to consider whether the moves can be smoothly connected. Also, the energy distribution should not be such that after using one move, the next move cannot be used effectively. For example, this one. Boss Rhino, use slam and drill. Zhang Yu directly asked the Rhino boss to start the demonstration. Hi. The Rhino boss bent his hind legs slightly, and then rushed out like an arrow, with the horn on his head wrapped with ground energy. Boom! The huge impact force smashed a huge rock in front of it into pieces. The Rhino boss just shook his head and didn't receive any damage. Well done, Boss Rhino. Zhang Yu then turned to the surprised Xiao Yin and said. Like this combination move, Rhino boss has a hard head, and then uses a ram to accelerate. Combined with a straight drill, it can achieve an effect of 1 + 1 greater than 2. But if you just use the ramming method, the Rhino boss may be fine, but the horn on its head will definitely be worn out. Xiaoyan nodded heavily. The stone was what his father's rhinoceros used to practice boxing every day. It was extremely hard and not an ordinary stone. Zhang Yu suddenly remembered something. Well, Xiaoyan, by the way, how come there is such a big stone in this place? Chapter 90. My dad said that the stone was shed when the steel snake shed its skin. I still have a lot of it at home. Xiaoyan explained. Phew. It's okay. If it was something valuable, it would be bad if it was broken. Zhang Yu also knows that Steelix is the evolved form of Onyx. But the evolution method seems to be a little special. Although these two Pokémon are not made of flesh and blood, they can also shed their skin. If the stone body is severely worn, it will eat a lot of stone and slowly grow a new body, and the damaged body will fall off. Although it is a worn stone body, it is still dozens of times harder than ordinary rock. Construction companies often use it as building materials. Master Au, I understand. After Xiaoyan explained, he understood what Zhang Yu meant. Then he said to the baby one-horned rhino. On you, let's try Master's method too. First, we need to consider the fluidity of the moves. Okay. Then, let's use tail wagging first. Hoo-ha! The baby rhino cried softly, then wagged its tail at the big rhino. Hoo-hoo! Little brother, what are you doing? The big rhino is immune to tail wagging, and he is not interested in the cute little rhino. Zhang Yu feels quite cute. Zhang Yu's defense has decreased. Okay. Now. Use scary face. Xiaoyan suddenly shouted. Hi! The baby one-horned rhino turned around instantly, widened its eyes, and looked fiercely at the big rhino. But still little effect. Ha! My brother is sweating profusely. After a while, Zhang Yu secretly kicked the rhino boss in the butt. The rhino boss pretended to be scared. Ouch! Master Au, did I use the wrong move? Xiaoyan and the baby rhino were a little discouraged. Well, it's okay. The main problem is that your one-horned rhino is too small. But the tactics are not bad. First, use the tail to paralyze the enemy, and then suddenly scare others. Zhang Yu felt that Xiaoyan was talented, but lacked some hardware. He thought that he would be fine once the unicorn grew up. I think you can try digging holes in the future. As long as the opponent can't crack it, you can strengthen it by sword dancing underground. Then, it instantly appears from under the opponent's feet and uses a scary face. When the opponent is frightened, it uses a rock block to trap the opponent and then drills straight ahead. Zhang Yu suddenly stopped, as if he had said something terrible. This tactic was probably, perhaps, a bit shady and not suitable for children. Master Au, this is a combination move, right? Silver's worldview on Pokémon battles seems to have been refreshed. Using sword dance or something underground is terrifying. Without an earthquake or a move that can break the digging hole, all you can do is wait for the unicorn to strengthen its attack. In this way, the two practiced until noon. After all, they are children with rich imagination. After Zhang Yu broke Xiaoyan's thinking barrier, Xiaoyan's understanding of Pokémon's moves routines deepened a lot. Xiaoyan, Au, it's time for lunch, let's take a break. A woman with short hair came over and said to the two of them. Okay Aunt Monitori. I'll be there right away. Xiaoyan answered, then turned to look at Zhang Yu. Master, come on in, my restaurant is huge. After saying that, he took Zhang Yu's hand and walked into the house. The real bird also followed the footsteps of the two. Oh! Xiaoyan learned a lot of new knowledge. Sakeka sat upright on the chair, but when he saw Xiaoan, he turned into a kind old father. Yet, I've learned how to combine moves. Xiaoan nodded happily, and then showed off the moves he had learned to Sakeka. Although it was lunchtime, there were only 3 people in the restaurant, Sakeka, Xiaoan, and Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu was a little curious about why Xiaoan's mother was not there, but since she didn't tell him, he shouldn't ask. After lunch, Xiaoan was taken out to play by Jenny Ao. Children need to digest their food after eating. Sakeka chatted with Zhang Yu alone. Ao, thank you for your help this morning. Zhang Yu was a little surprised. Mr. Sakeki is too polite. Xiaoan is very smart and it's not difficult to take care of him. Sakeka felt relieved after hearing this and continued. I heard from Xiaoan that you have a giant one-horned rhino. May I take a look at it? Sakeka had seen a one-horned rhino in Zhang Yu's live broadcast before, but there was no reference on the screen, so he couldn't tell how big it was. As a native of Kanto, he still likes the powerful Pokémon like Rhino. No Kanto person can resist a big and hard Pokémon. I also have a diamond-horned rhinoceros that has been with me for many years. Okay, no problem. After hearing what Sakeka said, Zhang Yu took out the poke ball. Accompanied by a heavy landing sound. The rhino boss, who was 2 meters long and weighed more than 400 kilograms, appeared in front of the two. Sakeka was surprised. This one-horned rhino? Hoo-hoo. The rhino boss looked at the man in front of him in confusion. Sakeka came over and bent down to look at the rhino boss carefully. The armor skin is very shiny and the horn is long and slender. The limbs are strong, and there is a circle of fat on the belly. The key is that it is several times larger than the ordinary one-horned rhino. Except for being a little fat, everything else is well bred. Au, you have raised the one-horned rhinoceros very well, even better than the one I raised back then. After observing the whole circle, Sakeka gave a very high evaluation. Cultivate. Zhang Yu was a little embarrassed. He just rode it every day and played in gym battles sometimes. It was convenient for him to eat. Apart from the daily nectar, Rhino was not picky about food, so he would eat up all the leftovers from other Pokémon. It looks like your unicorn will be able to evolve soon. It should only take an opportunity. This is the second time Zhang Yu has heard someone say that Rhino Boss is going to evolve. He squatted down in front of the Rhino Boss and asked seriously. Niu, do you want to evolve? Hoo-hoo. Rhino Boss thought for a while and didn't understand what Zhang Yu meant. Well, evolution means becoming more powerful. Look at this. Zhang Yu took out the illustrated book and found the image of the diamond-horned rhinoceros and showed it to the Rhino Boss. Well, after you evolve, you will become a rhinoceros. Hi. Rhino Boss suddenly became a little excited after seeing the picture. Then he shouted and nodded. Zhang Yu looked at the happy Rhino Boss with a confused look on his face. What was going on? Was he so excited just by looking at an evolved form? Drib. The one-horned rhino said that after it evolves, it will have 2 hands and can eat by itself, so it hopes to evolve. The Porygon in the navigator suddenly translated. Huh? Is that so? Zhang Yu usually spends a lot of time with his Pokémon and can understand what they mean. If it weren't for the fact that Rhino was too excited and he couldn't react, he would have almost forgotten that Porygon could translate. So simple. A drop of cold sweat dripped down Sakeka's forehead. Au's Pokémon is really special. Zhang Yu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The Rhino Boss was really born to eat. He wanted to evolve just to be able to eat by himself. After a little thought, Sakeka soon got a clue. For Pokémon like Rhino, in addition to eating to replenish energy and evolve, they also stimulate their potential to evolve through high-intensity battles. Au, it seems that you don't have to worry about the energy of your unicorn rhino. What you lack is the combat strength. I can provide you with this opportunity. Just consider it as Xiaoan's apprenticeship gift. How about it? Zhang Yu thought about it and accepted Sakeka's help. It's a good deal to get guidance from Sakeki of the Earth. Chapter 91. I will let my diamond horn fight against your one-horned rhino and try to unleash its potential. Sakeka brought Zhang Yu to the rocky ground in the evergreen gym, took out the pokeball and gently pressed it, releasing his rhino. Oh! A steady cry sounded, and a grey rhino with a sharp drill on its forehead appeared on the field. However, its sharp corners seem to be smaller than the proportions in the illustration. It looks like a one-horned rhino standing up, but in human form. Tiscradon, the drill Pokémon. It is the evolved form of the rhino. It has a big horn and strong attack power. The introduction of the illustration is concise and clear. Really? Zhang Yu looked at the muscular limbs of Sakeka's rhino. Although the armor on its body was shiny, there were still many scratches on it. It was obvious that it was a Pokémon that had experienced many battles. The sharp eyes are completely different from the easy-going temperament of the unicorn rhino. Diamond-horned rhino, today I'll trouble you to fight against Au's one-horned rhino. No need for any moves, just use pure strength to suppress it. Zhang Yu also released the one-horned rhino and said to it. Boss Rhino, your goal is to defeat the diamond-horned rhino, and you only need to use physical strength. If you can win, I will reward you with 3 pounds of honey-roasted sweet potatoes. Hoo-ha! When the rhino boss heard this, his lazy look suddenly became more excited. Then he looked at the diamond-horned rhinoceros opposite with a fierce look. Okay, that's great motivation. Then, Rhino Horn, rush over and knock it over. Sakeka put his hands in his pockets and gave an order. The rhinoceros rushed over directly, with its hands spread out at its waist, in a wrestling stance, and its weight of several hundred kilograms ran over with an astonishing momentum. Boss Rhino, you rush over too and push it back for me. Zhang Yu was not at all in vain. His one-horned rhino was no ordinary rhino. The 400+ kilograms were not eaten in vain. Hoo-ha! With the encouragement of food, the rhino boss showed no fear of his own evolution and rushed forward with his head held high. Boom! The collision of the two armored beasts in the field produced a huge sound. Ouch! This strength is totally not enough. The corner of the rhino's mouth is raised. It is true that the rhino boss is quite strong, but he can only use brute force and has no skills. If its head is lowered a little, it will be difficult for me to exert force. Hoo-hoo! Rhino boss felt that his upper body was starting to hang slightly in the air. 1,000-mile dam is breached by an ant hole. A small mistake will lead to a greater collapse. Oh! The diamond-horned rhinoceros exerted force with its legs, the muscles in its arms bulged, and it flipped the one-horned rhinoceros to the ground. Rhino boss! Zhang Yu was a little nervous. In this battle of pure strength, he couldn't help at all. He could only rely on the perseverance of the rhino boss. Hoo-hoo! The rhino was lying on the ground with its 4 legs up in the air, flapping its arms and legs constantly. However, it had grown fat, and its head could not stretch out like a turtle's neck. It was rarely panicked. This feeling of helplessness was terrible. Uh-oh! The diamond-horn rhino walked to the rhino boss, lifted it up with both hands, and turned it over. The revived rhino boss and the diamond-horned rhino touched their horns to express their gratitude. Then the two rhinos retreated again and collided with each other. Zhang Yu was worried just now, but now he felt relieved seeing the rhino boss's expression. The two monsters kept colliding and roaring, and Sakeki on the other side of the field watched the wrestling with interest. The repeated collisions made the rhino boss a little exhausted, but his desire for food made him regain his spirits. Oh! The diamond-horned rhino once again overthrows the rhino boss. The high-intensity fight also made it breathless. Although the one-horned rhino was not very skilled, it was very heavy and it took a lot of effort to flip it over. Hoo-ha! Roasted sweet potato. The rhino boss was lying on the ground, already numb. He didn't know how many times he had lain there. His eyes became clear. The rhinoceros once again lifted it up. Zhang Yu saw this scene, gritted his teeth, and hardened his heart. He shouted to Rhino Boss, "Hey! Rhino Boss, look what this is!" As he spoke, he took out a bottle of nectar from his backpack and swung it in his hand. Hoo-ha! The Rhino Boss's eyes, which had just become somewhat clear, were attracted by the nectar again and followed Zhang Yu's hand to turn. Snap! A crisp sound rang out. Zhang Yu suddenly dropped the bottle on the ground, and the nectar spilled all over the floor. Hoo-ha! Dum me yo! The Rhino Boss was heartbroken, because that was his favorite food. Boss Rhino, come on! Cheer up! Otherwise I will give all your future nectar shares to Beedrill. The simple Rhino Boss's eyes widened. A world without delicious nectar is worse than destruction for it. Oh? Are you cheering up? This is really interesting. Seeing this scene, Sakeke became even more interested and ordered. Diamond-horned rhino, give it the final blow. Use all your strength. Oh! The rhino closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and slowly exhaled, adjusting his state. When I opened my eyes again, I was full of fighting spirit. Hoo-ha! The rhino boss stood on the other side, paddling his hooves on the ground. Moment. The two beasts rushed towards each other at the same time. A huge crash sounded, and even a cloud of dust was stirred up on the ground. Creak creak. Their armor was squeezed and made a teeth-grinding sound. Ouch! Is this all you have? The diamond-horned rhino suddenly exerted force, trying to overturn the rhino boss again. Smelling the scent of the nectar scattered all over the ground, the rhino boss roared. Hoo-ha! Damn it! Don't underestimate the bond between me and food. The rhino boss used all four hooves to push forward desperately. The body emits white light due to the strong wool that bursts out. This is... Zhang Yu clenched his fists and took 2 steps forward involuntarily. Is it finally here? Sakeke's eyes became more serious. It's really exciting to see how this big unicorn rhino will look like after its evolution. Whoa! No one can stop me from eating. Except for the trainer and the big sister of the queen flower. The evolved rhino boss reached a height of 3.5 meters. The weight reached an astonishing 500 kilograms. Became a real behemoth. Sakeke's diamond horn rhino was a head shorter than the rhino boss and was even retreating. Woo! Oh! Get back! The rhino boss roared, his arm muscles bulged, and he pushed forward with all his strength. The rhinoceros finally retreated with its legs unshakable, and staggered. Oh my god, good job! Zhang Yu was also touched by this showdown of strength and couldn't help but wave his fist. Okay, come back, rhino! Thank you for your help. Seeing that his goal had been achieved, Sakeke took back his Pokémon. Hoo-ha! When the rhino leader saw his opponent being taken back, he quickly ran to the nectar scattered on the ground and licked it with his tongue. The passion that Zhang Yu had just ignited was instantly extinguished by cold water. No, man, you're embarrassing me. Sakeke was silent too. It was the first time he had seen a rhino so obsessed with food. The two were restrained for 2 minutes, with only the rhino boss on the field, licking the nectar with a snapping sound. Come back first, I'll give you something good to eat later. Zhang Yu was the first to react and took back the rhino boss. Ahem, Mr. Sakeke, thank you so much. Sakeke waved his hand. It's okay. I'm a little busy lately and will be away from Kanto for a few days. I hope that after we finish the gym match, you can stay and help me take care of Xiaoan. Of course, there will be a thank you. You will definitely need it. Chapter 92. Secret Technique. Step back. Zhang Yu brought the diamond-horned rhinoceros to the suburbs of Changqing City. There is no way, the height of the evolved rhino boss has increased dramatically. It's not convenient to release it in the Pokémon Center, and I promised it to make baked sweet potatoes. Niuda, come and help me dig a hole. I'll make you something delicious later. When the rhino heard this, it immediately ran over happily and started digging at the ground with its claws. As for why the name was changed to Niuda, Zhang Yu felt that the diamond-horned rhinoceros was no longer in a state of crawling on all fours like the one-horned rhinoceros. It's more like the big bear in the Boonie Bears on Earth, so I just call him Big Bull, it's more easy to pronounce and sounds better. Oh! The diamond-horned rhino also thought this name was more domineering and happily accepted the new name. Zhang Yu took out several large sweet potatoes from his backpack. They weighed more than 3 kilograms in total, probably more than 10 kilograms. I have to say, the space backpack is very useful. The food will not rot and the weight will be reduced 10 times. Except that you can't put living things in it, everything else is perfect. I heard that it has already started selling in the Hone region, but the price is high. Zhang Yu simply washed the sweet potatoes with water, peeled them, and wrapped them in tin foil. That's enough, Niuda, no need to add more firewood. The big hole that had just been dug was almost filled with dry grass and branches. Zhang Yu put the sweet potatoes in one by one and then lit the firewood. The smoke slowly drifted into the sky. Zhang Yu placed some more dead branches on the flames. When they were almost burned, he asked Niuda to make a rock cover to cover the hole. Only a slit is left for ventilation. About an hour later, Niuda moved the stone away, and the aroma of sweet potatoes was already spreading. The rhinoceros is not afraid of the heat, it just takes out the roasted sweet potato and puts it on the ground. Wow, it's so hot! Zhang Yu blew on his hands, gently peeled off the tin foil, then took out a bottle of nectar and poured it evenly on the sweet potato. It's done. Big Niu, you can eat it now. The rhinoceros waiting on the side was already drooling. Oh! But it hesitated for a while and put the largest piece of sweet potato in front of Zhang Yu. Ha ha ha, no need, just eat it. This is a reward for your breakthrough potential. Zhang Yu was stunned for a moment, and still felt a little touched. Ouch! Carrot carrot! Hearing what the trainer said, Radon was no longer polite and started eating with big mouthfuls. Happy like a 500-pound child. After eating and drinking, the body of the evolved diamond horn rhino is full of energy and needs to vent. Zhang Yu is ready to strike while the iron is hot and challenge the Evergreen Gym directly. Arriving at the Evergreen Gym, Sakaki had just defeated a trainer with Rhino. Zhang Yu followed in and challenged. Sakaki was already prepared, but he took back the diamond horn and replaced it with a Pokémon covered in green armor. Roar! A powerful roar sounded, and this Pokémon looked taller, bigger, and stronger than Sakake's Rhino. Just the eyes seem a little dull. Ayu, come on, your opponent this time is it? Sakaki released the clone of Band IRAs that Team Rocket was researching. Except for not being smart, everything else was basically the same. Zhang Yu was stunned, but soon a smile appeared on his face. Bandwiras? Good. Big Niu, show it your strength. Oh! As soon as Niuda came on the court, he patted the armor on his chest and shouted at Bang Ilas with great momentum. However, Bang Ilas ignored it and waited for Sakake's instructions. Bangalas, sharp stone attack. Roar! After receiving the order, Bang Ilas immediately entered combat mode, and a sandstorm blew up at the site. It is a sand-raising trait, but because the diamond horn has a ground system, it is not affected. Shhhhhh. A dozen sharp rocks flew through the sandstorm towards the rhino. Niuda, block it. Zhang Yu had already thought of a way to deal with long-range attacks. The diamond horn rhino clapped its hands on the ground, and a stone wall immediately appeared in front of it. The stone pillars it had created during its previous training made it very familiar with this type of construction move. Puff puff puff. The sharp stones were nailed to the stone wall. At this time, the diamond-horned rhinoceros had already started the sword dance without Zhang Yu saying anything. No, there's a problem, Bang Ilas, earthquake. Sakaka looked at the stone wall that had not moved for a long time, and thought of Zhang Yu's operation in the live broadcast. I have a bad feeling. Roar! Boom boom boom! Bang Ilas jumped up and stomped hard on the ground, causing the field to shake violently. The stone wall in front of the rhino was also shaken down, revealing the situation behind it. Hehe, Niuda. We'll use earthquakes too. Oh! Niuda is taller and heavier than Banguilas. After the earthquake move is strengthened by the sword dance, a stronger shock wave spreads towards Banguilas. Banguiras, hold on. Sakaka saw the clue and said, you are so good, you secretly performed the sword dance without telling me, right? Earthquake is very effective against Banguiras, so you can't just take it head-on. The shield was rippled, and when it was about to break, the shock wave of the earthquake finally stopped. Zhang Yu seized the opportunity and immediately gave the order after the aftershock of the diamond-horned rhino earthquake ended. Niuda, ram straight into the drill. Oh! The diamond-horned rhino rushed towards Bang Ilas with amazing momentum. Evil wave. After receiving the order, Bang Ilas immediately put his hands on his chest, and the black energy blasted towards the diamond-horned rhinoceros. Don't be afraid, use your horn to break through it. Zhang Yu understood the principle of one push and one push, the next one will be weaker. Once Niuda stopped halfway, it would be difficult to rush forward again. Oh! The drill horn rhino lowered its body slightly, and the energy of the drill move wrapped around its horn, and it rushed forward against the evil wave. Snapped! Bang Ilas hugged the waist of the diamond horn rhino. The energy of the straight drill has been offset. What follows is a power showdown. However, at more than 2 meters tall, Bangila's was still a head shorter than the diamond horn rhino, so he could only use his arms and shoulders to resist the impact. Oh! Two monsters are competing in strength, but Sakeki is not panicking at all. The clone Bandilas may not be very smart, but his strength is uncompromised. Zhang Yu looked at Niuda, whose hands were clamped, and thought quickly about how to break the deadlock. It's right. It's happening. Zhang Yu thought of a common trick used in street fights, and immediately shouted. Niuda! Remove your strength and lie on the ground. Oh! The rhino didn't understand why, but still did it. Not good. Sakeki's heart sank. But it's too late. The moment the diamond horn lay down, Bangila's fell on top of it due to inertia. Zhen Qi Fist. Zhang Yu saw that the move was effective and immediately gave orders. The diamondern's hand was now free, and its fist glowed red as it fiercely slammed towards Bangila's. If the 4x restrained Qi Fist hits, Bangila's will probably fall asleep on the spot. But Sakeki is no ordinary gym leader. As the leader of Team Rocket, he has seen all kinds of battles, and he quickly fought back. I underestimated you, you. Bangila's, roar. Chapter 93, The Queen of Flowers is not afraid of any opponent. How could I let you crack it so easily? On you, use your other hand to close its mouth. Oh! Snapped. A crisp slap sounded. The diamond-horned rhino raised his hand high, and then slapped Bangila's hard in the face. Bangila's tilted his head and felt dizzy. Although the slap did not cause any harm, it succeeded in interrupting its roar, and it only emitted a muffled groan. Fortunately, Bangila's has thick skin and flesh, otherwise if this slap was given to other small Pokémon, it would probably be flattened. Don't be in a daze. Qi Fist. When the rhinoceros heard Zhang Yu's words, it immediately punched the confused Bangila's. Roar! The brute force knocked Bangila's aside. The diamond horn stood up and walked to Bangila's, poking its body with its hand. Woo! Good night, Bangila's. Sakeki's calm expression became a little unnatural. The clones still don't have the self-awareness. Come back, Bangila's. Nidoqueen, it's your turn. Sakeki took out another Pokeball, and after the red light, a blue and white Pokémon appeared on the field. Zhang Yu also took back Radon. He wanted other Pokémon to practice new moves. Bawanghua, come here. But when the Queen of Flowers appeared on the field, Sakeki's Nidoqueen became even more powerful. Don't be confused, it's the fighting spirit trait. When you encounter Pokémon of the same gender, the power of your moves will increase. Sakeki explained Zhang Yu's doubts. I see, okay, thank you. New knowledge has been acquired. As the saying goes, life is the same as learning. It seems that I need to brush up on my knowledge of Pokémon before attending the Quartz Conference. Defo. The Queen of Flowers also felt Nidoqueen's attitude, and her eyes became sharp. We'll attack first this time. Queen Flower, Green Grass Field. Yes, during the special training some time ago, the Tyrant Flower realized the green grass field, which greatly increased the power of its grass-type moves. Many shadows of flowers and plants grew on the battlefield. Nidoqueen stamped her feet. It was obvious that she didn't like this place. Good tactics, Nidoqueen, gather your energy and use Rock Blast. Sakeki was not surprised that the Overlord Flower opened the green grass field. If the challenger came up and rushed, that would be abnormal. Neduo. Nidoqueen's eyes became more powerful, as if she was looking through the Queen of Flowers. Then he condensed a few rocks and threw them out fiercely. Great! Tyrannosaurus Rex, use our newly developed moves. Zhang Yu was not in a hurry. During the special training, she practiced rock-related moves for several days. Defo. The Queen Flower used the grass slide to float directly towards the rock. 2 magic leaves appeared in my hand. Defo. When it was about to be hit by the rock, it used its inertia to jump hard and turned in the air. The knife flashed and the Queen Flower landed lightly from the air. Boom 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 boom. The rock was cut in half and an explosion occurred. Why are there so many tricks? Sakeki is speechless. But this is in line with Zhang Yu's identity as a game consultant. He has innovative ideas in his head. Nidoqueen, blast fire. Call. Nidoqueen opened her mouth wide, and a thick flame swept across the field, actually setting the grass field on fire. The grass energy was completely burned by the jet flames, but the queen flower still used her defense to block the invasion of the flames. Zhang Yu didn't expect Sakeki's Nidoqueen to spray fire, and easily broke his buff. In that case, sunny day. Nidoqueen can't pray for rain, you're a ground-type Pokémon. Fortunately, Sakeki did not go so far as to ask the ground-type Pokémon to learn to pray for rain, but continued to launch the attack. Nidoqueen, Sandstorm. The originally sunny day suddenly became full of flying sand and rocks. Zhang Yu saw that Sakeki was still serious, and couldn't help but twitch his lips. Great, you're waiting for me here, right? The queen flower was hurt by the flying sand and rocks. No, in a sandstorm, it will be inconvenient for the Tyrantrum to use its charging moves. Vampire Flower, Magic Leaf. This time it was a long-range attack. The Queen of Flowers raised her hand and several magic leaves flew out, trying to attack Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen, Iron Tail. Neduo. Jingle bells. Nidoqueen's tail flashed with grey light, sweeping away all the magic leaves, and even made a sound of metal clashing. The sandstorm continued, and the queen flower continued to suffer damage on the field. From time to time, sandstorms will form small tornadoes that wreak havoc everywhere. It's such a headache. I wish the other person could get hurt too. Don't let everyone have a good time. Huh? That's right. We can try this. Royal Flower, Petal Dance. Zhang Yu thinks in reverse, since the weather moves cannot be used, then I will integrate into it. Defo. The queen flower summoned a large number of petals. The energy of the petal dance mixed with the sandstorm, and two energies instantly appeared on the field. Nadu. Nidoqueen was originally like a fish in water in the sandstorm, but the sudden appearance of grass-type energy caught it off guard and caused it to be hurt. Now it's the same for everyone. The queen flower has stopped dancing her petals, but the flying dust still blew the energy petals everywhere. Nidoqueen, Blast Fire. The fire column blasted through the sand and dust towards the queen flower. Zhang Yu had no choice but to let the queen flower use the grass slide to dodge. Occasionally, he would suddenly release a few magic leaves to shoot at Nidoqueen. But Sakeki has good eyesight, and he always commands Nidoqueen to use his iron tail to block it accurately. What? The continuous attack and defense made Nidoqueen out of breath. It is not a move of this type, so it is not so easy to use it by yourself, and it consumes more energy. And Zhang Yu was waiting for this opportunity. The grass slide of Queen Flower consumes little energy, and the sandstorm only took away some of her stamina, so it's not a big problem. The Queen of Flowers, Pollen Ball. Defo. While Nidoqueen was adjusting her breathing, the queen immediately rolled a small ball from her petals and stuffed it into her mouth. The lost strength is quickly restored. Fighting attrition, the Queen of Flowers has never been afraid of it. It's our turn to strike back. Leaf Storm. Zhang Yu didn't have time to let the queen flower use growth to increase her attack, so he just let it go. Defo. The violent grass energy swept across the entire venue, even covering the sandstorm. Nidoqueen. Spray Fire, block it. Sakeki was also helpless. His Nidoqueen's ground-type and poison-type moves were not very effective against Tyrannosaurus Rex. Moreover, the opponent can run fast and recover quickly, which is really a headache. The jet of fire can at least block some of the remaining energy petals on the field. As the flames burned, the leaf storm was burned to pieces, and the offensive was reversed. It's now, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Magic Flash. The leaves dissipated, and the queen flower hidden behind the storm finally revealed its figure. Defo. A strong light emanated from the Queen of Flowers, stinging Nidoqueen so much that she couldn't open her eyes. Ultimate Impact. Zhang Yu then commanded. Boom. The queen flower hit Nidoqueen hard with her head, knocking the latter away. What? Nidoqueen tried to struggle to stand up, but eventually fell asleep. Clap clap. The move hidden behind the leaf storm, the tactics are very good. Sakeki smiled. His game consultant always gave him some surprises. It is more satisfying to be defeated by tactics than to be defeated by a burst of energy in battle. Next is my real trump card, you better be careful. The Great Needle Bee. Chapter 94, The Terrifying Giant Beedrill. Dreaming of returning to the Scyther Forest. His As soon as Sakeka's beadrill appeared on the field, Zhang Yu felt the unusual momentum. The body of the beadrill has many scars like the rhino, and its needles are not as shiny, but instead a little grey. Very strong. No, very strong. This feeling feels familiar. Defo. The queen flower stared at the figure of the giant bee. It was not only the grass type's vigilance against the bug type, but also the caution in the face of the strong giant beadrill. Don't hold back, attack as much as you can. Sakeka held his hands forward and officially started the final battle. The beadrill flapped its wings and swooped down like a fighter plane. Its two needles glowed green. It was obvious that it knew how to fight without Sakeka's command. Get out of the way! Zhang Yu immediately shouted. The queen flower had no time to use any moves, and could only jump to the side, barely avoiding the attack of the giant bee. Swish! A sudden change occurred. The giant bee actually stopped in the air and threw a handful of missile needles at the queen flower on the ground. Substitute. It was too late. Zhang Yu could only command the queen flower to use the substitute, a move that had not been used for a long time. Boo! A small dinosaur doll appeared on the spot, and the queen flower flashed to a safe place. Puff puff puff! The missile needle pierces the stand, breaking it instantly. Defo! The queen flower, which had lost some of its strength, did not stop at all and immediately spread out the green grass field. Hiss! The beadrill flapped its wings and took off again. This time it did not choose to charge forward, but instead used missile needles to carry out a long-range attack. Grass slide, dodge the attack. It is not easy to defend against this kind of continuous attack. The dense missile needles are impossible for queen flower to block. Besides, bug type restrains grass type. Suddenly, the female boss was shot all over the field to dodge. There will be a gap in the continuous attack. The beadrill stops shooting and continues to dive over. Good chance, queen flower, use energy ball. This time, the queen of flowers did not lie on the ground. Facing the giant hornet flying over, Zhang Yu chose to blow it down with an energy ball. Boom boom! Hiss! The beadrill did not slow down, and its two needles stretched out straight away, actually directly blasting the energy ball. What? So outrageous! It was the first time Zhang Yu had seen such a ferocious giant bee, but the situation was urgent and there was no time to think about it. He could only yell, hold on! Withstand this wave of attacks! Defo! The Queen of Flowers took a defensive stance with one leg forward and the other behind, and pushed forward with both hands. The green energy shield had just been deployed when the attack of the giant bee arrived. Ding! A crisp sound was heard, and the two needles of the giant bee had already pierced the shield of the queen flower. Defo! The powerful impact caused it to be pushed back several steps. At such a close distance, the queen flower can even see itself in the giant needle compound eyes. Defo! This feeling! I remember! The queen flower remembered that this was when it first started adventuring with Zhang Yu. The feeling of powerlessness when I encountered the scyther in the scyther forest. If I hadn't evolved at that time, I would probably have died there. Ba Wang Hua, come on! Zhang Yu looked anxiously. No, why did this beadrill keep charging without any delay? Click! There was a sound like glass breaking. The shield in front of the queen flower has dense cracks with the double needles of the giant bee as the midpoint. Hiss! The beadrill retracted its needles, and then, like a swordsman, chopped them down in a cross pattern. With a flash of silver light, the shield of the queen flower could no longer withstand it and shattered completely. The power of the two needles remained undiminished, and they continued to strike down. Sunlight blade! The moment the shield shattered, Zhang Yu immediately shouted, commanding the queen flower to use the charged sunlight blade. Ding! The green blade light met the crossed needles, making a crisp sound of metal clashing. Now! Deadly needle prick! Sakeka suddenly gave the order to beadrill. The giant bee bends its tail and a long needle emerges. When the queen flower's hands were supporting the sunlight blade, it pierced its body. Outstanding effect! Defo! The queen flower felt pain and was knocked back several meters by the impact. The beadrill refused to give in and rushed forward, trying to deliver another fatal sting. Valope, be careful! Use magic flash! Zhang Yu shouted. Sakeka's beadrill attacked continuously like a wave, forcing the queen flower to basically passively defend. However, the magic flash is instantaneous, and the strong light emitted by the queen flower made the giant bee stop for a moment. Paralyzing powder. As the energy for other moves is insufficient, Zhang Yu can only choose the powder that comes with queen flower and release it at close range to see how Beedrill can dodge. Defo. Puff. The stamens on the king flower's head bulged, and a ball of pollen suddenly burst out. Hiss. The Beedrill reacted very quickly, flapping its wings rapidly, blowing away most of the paralysis powder, but it still inhaled some of it and fell into the paralysis effect. But the giant bee seemed to be unaware of it, and immediately flapped its wings forward, covered with a light blue light, knocking the queen flower away. Defo. Finally, the queen flower could not withstand Yan Fan's attack and lost her ability to fight. Come back, Amazon, you are already great. Zhang Yu took back the queen flower. He hadn't been defeated so quickly in a long time. Sakeka's Beedrill was so powerful. Not only is the flying speed and attack power strong, but the combat is also ruthless, leaving no chance for the opponent to breathe. The grassy field of queen flower is only suitable for a protracted battle. Facing the swift attack of the giant bee, it can't recover its physical strength at all. It's up to you, Niuda. Zhang Yu was ready to fight in a round-robin match. Since he couldn't win in a one-on-one match, he didn't believe that he couldn't win in a three-on-one match. Oh! The oversized diamond-horned rhinoceros came out with a loud roar. Niuda! Shoot it down! The rhinoceros raised its hand upwards, and several sharp rocks appeared on the ground and smashed towards the Beedrill in the air. Hiss! However, the giant bee only flapped its wings a few times and easily avoided the attack. It changed its tactics. Facing the thick-skinned and tough rhinoceros, it chose to use the kite-flying tactic in the air, continuously shooting with missile needles. Ding 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 ding! The missile needle hit the armor of the rhino, leaving many scratches. The rhino raised one arm to cover its face, and threw stones with the other hand, trying to knock the Beedrill down. No, the Beedrill flies too fast, I can't hit it at all. Niuda, use rock blockade to wrap yourself up. Zhang Yu prepared to stabilize and strengthen the attack first. With its strong defense, the rhino created a rock barrier to withstand the missile attack. Hiding inside, the iron wall sword dance strengthens itself in turns. It's a pity that Radon didn't learn Sandstorm, otherwise it could slowly wear down Beedrill. Old moves, Beedrill, Feather Nest, Sword Dance. Facing the tank-like rhino, Sakeka did not take it lightly, but instead asked Beedrill to strengthen it outside at the same time. The physical strength that was just consumed by the magic flash of the queen flower was also restored under the feathers. Zhang Yu's heart sank. Beedrill could still recover. This was very troublesome. Shattered rock. Following Sakeka's command, the needles of the Beedrill turned dark red and slammed into the rock barrier. Stones flew everywhere and the barrier was broken. At this moment, a huge fist stretched out from inside. It was the rhinoceros that was waiting for the opportunity. Chapter 95. Big Sting Wasp, Poisonous Attack. Sakeka had anticipated this and immediately changed his tactics. Beedrill instantly hit Rhino's fist twice. Inject your venom into its arm. Oh! Even with the enhanced defense, the poison attack did not cause much damage to the diamond horn rhino. But there was no way to prevent the venom from entering. Broken. Seeing Niuda's arms glowing purple, Zhang Yu rubbed his head. Venom Blast. Sakeka took advantage of the victory and pursued, placing 2 needles of the Beedrill on the chest, and a column of poisonous energy hit the rhino on the head. There is no way, the speed of the Radon is too slow. Zhang Yu regrets not focusing on training the Pokémon's speed. Whenever Radon wanted to attack, Beedrill would fly away instantly, and when Radon stopped to catch his breath, it would be consumed by the missile needle. Oh! The poisoned state and the constant attacks made Niuda unable to hold on any longer, and his huge body fell to the ground with a bang. Could it be that I'm really going to be hit 3 times in a row? Zhang Yu was in a heavy mood. He took back Niuda and released his last Pokémon. Chenglong, it's decided to be you. Zhang Yu released a Pokémon that surprised Sakeka. Use dragon riding on land, Au, what tactics do you have? Sakeka narrowed his eyes. Just in case, he chose to let the giant bee wait in the air and did not attack rashly. Zhang Yu saw that the Beedrill did not launch an attack right away, which just hit what he wanted. Ride the Dragon, Song of the End. Woo! A song with a strange power enveloped the entire venue, and Beedrill was not spared. Sakeka suddenly smiled with relief. Same fate, huh? That's interesting, but I just have to defeat you before the Song of the End takes effect. Giant Beedrill, the swallow returns. Hiss! Beedrill also felt the destructive energy lurking in its body. After hearing Ban Mu's command, he rushed towards Chenglong without any hesitation. Chenglong, hold on! Freezing Ray! Zhang Yu knew that as long as he held on for a while and waited for the effect of the Song of the End to take effect, he would win. Woo! The young dragon had no fear of fighting. He opened his mouth and blew out a beam of icy light. Click, click! Drill's return came with unrivaled momentum, flashing several freezing rays in succession, and its wings slashed fiercely on the body of the Dragonite. Fortunately, Chenglong was also very strong. Although it was painful, he managed to hold on. Good job! Riding the dragon, use life drop. Zhang Yu breathed a sigh of relief and immediately wanted to recover his strength. But Sakeka didn't give him this opportunity. Giant Beedrill, malicious pursuit. Hiss! Beedrill turned around and rushed over, its two needles turned brown, and hit Dragonite again. Woo! The strength that had just been restored by the life drop was immediately knocked down again. Chenglong, hold on! Use charming voice. Sakeka's eyes were stern, and he gave the command. Giant Beedrill, brick breaker. Break it! But at this critical moment, the paralysis effect was triggered on the Beedrill, allowing the Dragonite's charm sound to be successfully used. Hiss! The giant bee was in a state of confusion and began to attack randomly. Good opportunity! Ride the dragon! Water wave! Woo! The dragon held on to the chaotic attack of the giant bee, and the water in its mouth gathered, and then it aimed at the opponent and fired suddenly. Boom! The giant bee was hit by the strong water flow and flew backwards. This was the first time it was knocked away in a head-on confrontation. Buzz! A strange noise was heard on the field. The final song! Zhang Yu's face lit up with joy. He had finally made it to this point. The two Pokémon fainted at the same time as if they were struck by lightning. What a passionate battle, Au! Sakeki was slightly surprised that Beedrill was actually defeated. Although he was held back by the paralysis powder at a critical moment, luck is also part of strength. However, he was still very satisfied with the battle. He hadn't had such an intense gym match in a long time. Hi, come back Chenglong, you are really great. Zhang Yu wiped the cold sweat from his head. If Drill's clash had hit him, Dragonite would definitely not have been able to hold on. Mr. Sakeki, you're Beedrill. Too strong. Zhang Yu had to admit that after being in this world for so long, this Beedrill was the Pokémon that gave him the most oppressive feeling, except for the legendary beast of the Orange Islands. Ha ha ha, after all, Beedrill has been with me for more than 10 years, and it's my trump card. After hearing Zhang Yu's praise, Sakeka laughed heartily. This is a Pokémon battle. I recognize your strength. As he spoke, Sakeka took out a green badge that looked like a leaf. Take it, you totally deserve this badge. In fact, Sakeka basically would not let Beedrill play in previous gym competitions. His own Rhino and Nidoqueen alone were enough to give the trainers who came to challenge him a hard time. This is why I am called Sakeki of the Earth. Green badge, okay. I'll take it. Zhang Yu took the badge and put it into the badge box solemnly. At this point, I finally collected 8 badges and was qualified to participate in the Quartz Conference. Au, I will be out on business in the next few days, and the Evergreen Gym will be closed. Xiaoan, I'll trouble you. Sakeki regained his serious look and said to Zhang Yu. Okay, don't worry, Mr. Sakeki. Zhang Yu nodded. Taking care of the children can also help the Pokémon relax. Dad, goodbye. I will listen to Master Au's words. Xiaoan watched Sakeki leave at the gym entrance. Zhang Yu was silent. Oh my god, Sakeki took away everyone in the Evergreen Gym, leaving only Xiaoan and himself. Well, now that things have come to this, let's eat first. Xiaoan, let's go, I'll make you something delicious. Zhang Yu brought Xiaoyan to the Changqing City shopping center and bought a lot of food. This time he plans to go to the suburbs for a barbecue. Master Au, I want to eat ice cream. Xiaoan looked at Zhang Yu pitifully. Her father usually didn't let her eat. Zhang Yu waved his hand. Eat. Take. Great. An hour later, Xiaoan and Zhangjiao left the shopping mall, each holding an ice cream cone. It's getting dark, we're not going home. How about camping today? Zhang Yu had a good idea and asked Xiaoan. Camping? Great. Xiaoan's eyes were shining with anticipation. It was so interesting to follow Master Au. The two came to the suburbs. Zhang Yu released Niuda and instructed it to build a house with rocks. Oh! The rhinoceros ate fruit in one hand and waved the other hand to create a stone wall under Zhang Yu's command. Yes, here, another stone. Well, let's make a roof. Zhang Yu pointed to the open top of the matchbox house. Oh! The rhinoceros ate all the fruit in one gulp, then spread out its hands, condensed a huge stone slab, and covered the wall. Very good, low-key and luxurious. Zhang Yu nodded with satisfaction, looking at the masterpiece he had directed. Refer to the matchbox house in my world. Wow! Master is so awesome. The diamond horn is awesome too. Xiaoan couldn't wait to run into the house. At present, the house had no door and was just a simple camping site. Oh! When Niuda heard the compliment, he smiled innocently. Okay, next, let's start having barbecue supper. Chapter 96, Pokémon Picnic. And the whitewashed Team Rocket? Zhang Yu hung a light bulb on the stone house, and the dim house suddenly became bright. There is a small river near the campsite he chose, which makes it very convenient to wash the food. Everyone, come out. All Pokémon except Radon were released. Xiaoan also let his baby Rhino join in. It's been such a long journey, everyone must have worked hard, let's take a good rest today. Zhang Yu was somewhat emotional. It took him almost a year to get 8 badges from being stranded on a deserted island. Not only did he gain many friends. The most important thing is that there are so many Pokémon that are always by my side. Good luck to everyone at the upcoming Quartz conference. I will work hard with you. Zhang Yu clenched his fists and thought to himself. He actually doesn't really want to get a rank, but more importantly, he wants to leave evidence of his existence in this world. Also, the promise I made to someone in my heart. Master? Master? Well, can we start the barbecue? The Queen of Flowers has already set up the grill. Xiaoan pulled Zhang Yu's clothes, interrupting his thoughts. Oh, good, supper time, let's start. Zhang Yu saw Niuda carefully picking up the fruit and putting it on the grill, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Let me do it. We don't need to catch fish today. I bought a lot of frozen food. Please ask Seathorn Dragon and Dragonite to defrost them and clean them. Royale and Beedrill, please cut the berries into small pieces and string them together. As for Porygon, you should just play with the baby Rhino. Zhang Yu quickly assigned tasks to each Pokémon. He and Xiaoan took the skewers from Ba Wanghua and grilled them on the rack. Xiaoan, don't be impatient with this barbecue. You must wait until it's cooked before eating it. Like me, brush it with secret seasoning, flip it over and continue grilling. Xiaoan studied seriously with Zhang Yu. Barbecue knowledge up. Soon the two of them baked a batch of food. Come on, everyone. You've worked hard. Come and have a taste. Zhang Yu shared the fruit bunches with the vegetarian queen flower and the giant Beedrill. Defo. The queen flower learned to eat skewers without any instruction, and ate all the fruits on the bamboo sticks in one bite. The new flavor made it open its eyes wide and continue to eat happily. Sizzle. The mouth of the giant hornet is the mouth part of an insect, so it cannot eat skewers like the queen of flowers. I could only eat it in small bites. I was also conquered by the taste of the barbecued fruit and joined the ranks of those who ate it. Oh! The diamond-horned rhinoceros came out of the dark forest behind the house, holding a large bundle of dead branches in his arms. Put it here, thank you Niuda. Zhang Yu pointed to the side, and the rhinoceros put down the dead branch and used its thick fingers to pinch the small bamboo sticks to eat barbecue. Puff! Ha ha ha, Niuda, your posture is too weird. Zhang Yu was amused by the appearance of the diamond-horned rhinoceros. The beast, more than 3 meters tall, was holding a skewer that was not as long as his fingers, just like Shaquille O'Neal drinking mineral water as oral liquid. Oh! The rhinoceros scratched its head and pointed at the bamboo stick. So you're worried about breaking the skewers? It's okay, I bought a lot. Zhang Yu suddenly realized that he had never expected that the diamond horn rhinoceros would become more thoughtful after its evolution. Oh! The rhino happily opened its mouth and ate the skewers together with the bamboo sticks. Master, we have charcoal, why do we need branches? Xiaoan is a little confused. Hehe. These are not ordinary branches. They are branches from fruit trees that I asked Niuda to pick up. When the time comes, light them and put the meat on them to smoke. It will have the aroma of fruit trees. Zhang Yu crossed his arms, looking a little proud. Soon, the sea dragon came back from the river with the washed ingredients and signaled Zhang Yu that he could start grilling. Watch me do it. Niuda, help me dig a hole first. Zhang Yu put all the dead branches of the fruit trees into the pit dug by the rhinoceros, lit them and waited for them to burn fully, and finally closed the lid, leaving only a gap for air circulation. The method of making charcoal in reality is similar, I didn't write it that way. The material of the fruit tree is very good, and soon Zhang Yu got some charcoal. Because it is for barbecue, I only made a little bit, just enough. Really? The barbecue smells like tree fruits. Master, you are amazing. After getting the new version of the barbecue, Xiaoan couldn't wait to taste it and exclaimed in surprise. Zhang Yu smiled and nodded. It must be delicious. Sea Dragon and Dragon also like the fragrant barbecue. This supper was a great pleasure for both the host and the guests. But when sleeping in the stone house, Xiaoan asked Zhang Yu a strange question. Master, have you ever seen Team Rocket? Zhang Yu was a little surprised. Why did he suddenly talk about this? I have seen them, but I think they are stupid. Recalling how the trio was starved to death in the Orange Islands, Zhang Yu was speechless. So does the master hate Team Rocket? Xiaoan continued to ask. Is it annoying? Not really. Although it did cause me some trouble, it's okay in the end. Zhang Yu thought of the 3 people who worked for him and who now claimed to have turned over a new leaf. Xiaoan turned over and looked at the diamond-horned rhino sleeping at the door. I heard from my dad that the Rockets are currently helping the League with urban construction and helping a lot of people in need. But they used to be an evil organization, and Master has traveled to many places, so I want to ask Master. Zhang Yu understood. Children are full of fantasies about heroes and villains. It's normal for Boss Sakeka to understand Team Rocket as a gym owner. But the Rockets are cooperating with the League? Zhang Yu is not sure. If it is true, that would be the best. It's not my turn to worry about this matter. At least he is not affected. Zhang Yu wanted to ask Xiaoan about the Rockets getting better, but Xiaoan was already snoring slightly. Let's talk about it tomorrow, go to sleep first. Zhang Yu turned off the light and fell asleep. The next morning, Xiaoan woke up first. It's over, Master Yu. I still have to go to school. Xiao Yan looked at the confused Zhang Yu and said in a crying voice. Almost forgot. Zhang Yu Guang was thinking of taking him out to play, but it turns out Xiaoan still has to go to school. The two quickly packed up their things and left the house. Quick, Niuda, let's go. Zhang Yu and Xiao Yan rode on the back of the diamond horn rincos, rushing towards the trainer school with a rumbling sound. Fortunately, the bell rang just as Xiaoan entered the school gate. Tisk. I'm not even married yet, but I'm already living a life of sending my kids to school. Zhang Yu found it a little funny, but it was not a big deal, it would only take 2 minutes. This kind of life lasted for a week. During the day, Zhang Yu would train Pokémon in Evergreen City or Evergreen Forest to prepare for the Quartz Conference. Pick up Xiaoan and go home for dinner in the afternoon. Finally, on another weekend, Sakeka returned to the Evergreen Gym. Chapter 97. Crunch. Geniao opened the door and then stood aside. Sakeka still walked into the gym with a steady pace. Father. Xiaoan was doing strength training with Zhang Yu. Suddenly, he saw Sakeka coming in. He dropped the sandbag in his hand and ran towards Sakeka. Long time no see, Xiaoan. Sakeka picked up his son, looking like a loving father and a filial son. Thank you for taking care of Xiaoan during this period. Geniao, give the things to Au. Sakeke smiled at Zhang Yu. Geniao walked forward and opened the box in his hand. This is... Zhang Yu looked curiously at the red certificate and key in the box. Ha ha ha, this is a gift for you, a property in Violet City in the Hone region. Sakeke said something surprising from his calm mouth. Room? House? Zhang Yu was stunned. Are you so generous, boss? Sakeke was amused by Zhang Yu's reaction and continued. There are also coupons for free bicycles inside. Bike. Zhang Yu regained his wits. He didn't understand why Sakeke considered a bicycle as a gift, but it shouldn't be a common item. This gift is too valuable, I can't accept it. Zhang Yu was a little scared. He couldn't even think about giving his house away as a gift. He also knew Zijin City, which was a prosperous city comparable to Jinhuang City. A house in Zijin City is enough for me to work hard for more than 10 years. You're welcome, Au. I've been dealing with things at Fengyuan recently and I've received the company's income report. Your creativity has brought huge profits to the company, a house, you are still worth it. Sakeke is not stingy with rewards for talents. Moreover, the closer the interests between him and his subordinates are, the less he is afraid of talents being poached. This is also the real reason why he agreed to let Xiaoan worship Zhang Yu as his master. This. Zhang Yu really wanted to accept it, but such an expensive gift still made him hesitate. If you are really flattered, Mr. Au, I hope you will pay more attention to the development of the company in the future and let our cooperation create greater glory. Managi advised, she understood what Sakeke meant. Okay, don't worry, even if I don't have this house, I will still work hard. Zhang Yu patted his chest and promised. But I don't think I did anything except give some suggestions to the company. I feel a little guilty for no reason. No, I have to keep in touch with the trio from now on. I can't let down the boss. Well. I believe you, you. Also, you can sign up for the Quartz conference now. You can go to the Pokémon Center to enter your information now. If Sakeke hadn't told me, Zhang Yu would have almost forgotten. After saying goodbye to Sakeke, Xiaoan and others, Zhang Yu quickly came to the Pokémon Center. As soon as Zhang Yu entered the hall, he saw many trainers queuing up to sign up. After waiting in line for nearly half an hour, it was finally my turn. Ms. Joy, this is my trainer's Pokédex and badge box. I want to sign up for the Quartz conference. Okay, let me check it out. Joey still has a gentle smile and a very high level of professionalism. Okay, you have met the registration requirements. All you need to do next is pay the registration fee. Okay. Zhang Yu entered the payment password. Tips: the illustrated guide can be used as an electronic account. In the past, Zhang Yu paid for things with illustrations in addition to cash. The registration fee is not expensive, only 1,000 Pokémon coins. If the trainer is really poor, he can also pay in installments, which is quite humane. Drop. After the payment was successful, the computer in front of Joey beeped. Okay, your information has been entered. Next, just wait patiently for the conference to begin. Then, scan the illustrated book at the Quartz Plateau venue to enter. Joey smiled and handed the illustration back to Zhang Yu, and briefly explained. Yeah, thank you Miss Joy. After Zhang Yu came out of the Pokémon Center, he checked the registration information on the Pokémon Encyclopedia. Well, it still takes a month to start. There is still a lot of time, and I suddenly have nothing to do. Right. I said we were going to the Orange Islands. Why don't we set off now? There should be enough time. Zhang Yu came to the Evergreen Gym and prepared to say goodbye to Xiaoan. I have been taking care of my little apprentice for half a month. It would not be nice to leave without saying goodbye. Orange Islands. Master, are you going that far? Xiaoan was very surprised and then began to get excited. It's okay. I'm going to take a boat. Zhang Yu thought about it and decided to go to Vermilion City first, take a boat to Daigon Island to visit Professor Niimu and see the Pokémon he had captured. Master, can I go with you? Xiaoan hesitated for a moment, but still expressed his thoughts. Are you going to? Zhang Yu was a little troubled. It wasn't a big deal, but if he lost the child, Sakeke would kill him. Yet. Master, don't worry. Dad has given the beadrill to me for safekeeping. It can protect me. Xiaoan took out a pokeball and said confidently. Well, even so. Zhang Yu should go ask Sakeke. I see. I agree that Xiaoan should go. Sakeke looked at the two and replied. Zhang Yu spread his hands and said. See, I told you your dad wouldn't agree. No, Mr. Sakeke, why did you agree to let Xiaoan go to the Orange Islands with me? Zhang Yu was stunned for a moment. Isn't he an old father who loves his children? Isn't he afraid that I will lose the child? Ha ha ha, it's good to let Silver go and broaden his horizons. The trainer's school happens to be on vacation, and it would be boring for him to stay in the evergreen gym all the time. I don't usually have much time to accompany him, so I'm sorry to bother you this time. Sakeke continued. With Beatrill here and your strength, you will be fine as long as we don't encounter attacks from mythical beasts. Also, the company will reimburse all your expenses for the trip to the Orange Islands this time. Since Sakeke said so, Zhang Yu no longer hesitated. Xiaoan is usually very well behaved and doesn't cause any trouble to me, so let's go together. Okay, let's pack up. We'll leave tomorrow. Great. Sakeke was very generous and sent a helicopter to take the two of them to the port of Vermilion City. The boat to Daigon Island has docked at the seaside. Tisk. I always feel that Boss Sakeke's identity is not that simple. Zhang Yu looked at the arranged itinerary and couldn't help but sigh. Master, let's get on the boat. I haven't been to the Orange Islands yet. I'm so excited. Xiaoan couldn't wait to pull Zhang Yu onto the boat. After 2 days of peaceful life at sea, Zhang Yu returned to a familiar place again. Orange Islands, I'm back. Chapter 98. Return to the Orange Islands. Pokémon at the Research Institute. The temperature on Daigon Island has also dropped a lot, but it is still warmer than the Kanto area. Zhang Yu and Xiaoyan changed back into short-sleeved shirts after arriving on the island. Wow! The Orange Islands are so beautiful. Xiaoyan sighed that he had never seen the world before. Zhang Yu smiled. Every time she came here, she would be conquered by the southern scenery. Let's go visit Dr. Uchiki first, and then I'll take you for a walk. Following my memory, I came to Uchiki Research Institute again. After so much time, the institute has not changed much, except that the weeds at the entrance have grown a little taller. A researcher is cleaning with a lawnmower. Seeing the person coming, she was stunned for a moment, but she reacted quickly. You are, Au. Long time no see. Zhang Yu also recognized the other party. Long time no see, Xiaobo, is Dr. Uchiki here? After hearing this, researcher Xiaobo showed an expression of as expected. The doctor is measuring the physical data of Pokémon in the yard today. Zhang Yu nodded. Doctor, you are still working hard as always. By the way, I also brought you some special products from Guandu. As he said this, he took out a big bag of crepes from his bag and gave them to Xiaobo. Wow! Thank you, Au. It's my favorite peach fruit flavor. But who is this kid? Xiaobo looked at Xiaoyan with some curiosity. Could it be Au's child? Ha ha ha, his name is Xiaoyan, he's the child of my boss at work, this time I brought him to the Orange Islands to play together. Xiaoyan also nodded in agreement. Suga. Well, you go find the doctor. I still need to clean up the weeds. I'll be leaving now. Xiaobo knocked his head, thinking that he was too obsessed with his thoughts. Zhang Yu expressed his understanding and walked into the research institute with Xiao Yin. Long time no see, Au. In the hall, many researchers greeted Zhang Yu. Long time no see, Tsunami, Minami, Ashu. Zhang Yu responded one by one and soon came to the backyard. Saw a familiar figure. Dr. Uchiki is still the same, wearing a long white coat that drags on the ground, and his glasses have fallen to the tip of his nose, but he is still carefully measuring the height of a lotta. Zhang Yu stood aside and waited for the doctor to finish his work before he stood up, stretched and said. Dr. Uchiki, long time no see. This is my boss's child, Jin. Hello, Dr. Xiaoyan greeted Dr. Uchiki obediently. I brought you a present. Zhang Yu took out a strange thing in the shape of a siduk. Xiaoyan? Au? Hello, gifts are so polite. Dr. Uchiki quickly remembered this young man who was a great cook. What is this? Siduk. But she was a little curious about the gift in Zhang Yu's hand. Doctor, this is not Saduk, it's a sweeping robot. It can automatically grow bigger and taller according to the location of the garbage. It's very convenient. Zhang Yu put Pikachu on the ground and gently pinched its short tail. Quack quack, the second generation of Psyduck vacuum cleaner robot, your best housework helper. After the robot introduced itself, its eyes lit up and it began to detect the surrounding environment. Detected Radha's hair, start cleaning. As soon as the words fell, the robot opened its mouth and sucked all the garbage on the ground into its stomach. Doctor, it's very convenient, isn't it? It uses space technology inside, can store a lot of garbage, and can run to the garbage station to dump the garbage by itself. When you encounter a gap, you can become very small and drill in to clean it. After Zhang Yu finished speaking, he stuffed a leaf into a crack in a stone. Then he took Pikachu over, and with a whoosh, Pikachu turned into a very small creature, sucked the leaves into its stomach, and then returned to its normal size. Huh? How amazing! Thank you so much for your trouble, Au. Indeed, I am usually very busy, and Xiaobo and the others don't know how to clean up. This robot is a real help. Dr. Neimu happily accepted the gift, and then asked, Au, you must have other things to do when you come to the institute this time. Hey, didn't I send a lot of Pokémon last time? This time I came to see them. By the way, I also want you to help me check the development of the Pokémon. Dr. Uchiki led the two of them for a long time, and when Xiaoan was a little tired, they finally arrived at their destination. Looking ahead, there are fenced areas, and the name of the Pokémon species stored in each area is written in front of it. This is where your Pokémon is stored, let's go in and take a look. Dr. Uchiki pressed his fingerprint and the gate opened automatically. In fact, the fences are just for decoration. The Pokémon that come here to be stored all have trainers and are very sensible. Usually they just eat and sleep, and play after waking up, and they don't fight. Of course, with not enough money for Dr. Uchiki's research, how could he afford to raise so many Pokémon? The trainer's manual states, Pokémon deposited with the professor at the place where the Pokémon book is distributed can be fostered for free for half a year, and the trainer will need to pay for the subsequent expenses. This free period is a benefit given by the league to trainers. So it is not the case that the more Pokémon you capture, the better, unless you have the money. Zhang Yu had never planned to raise the Pokémon for free. When he sent the Pokémon to Professor Neimu in Qianhong City, he had already paid for a year's worth of expenses. Because most of the Pokémon in the hunting zone are relatively docile and have a good life here, they had no objections after being captured by Zhang Yu and happily accepted their new life. As soon as the door opened, the first one to run over was the Sandrat that Zhang Yu had subdued in the cave. Kuja. Although Sand Shrew had only met Zhang Yu once, he knew that he was his trainer. Hello, Sand Shrew. After squeezing the mole's outstretched paw, Zhang Yu took out a peach fruit from his pocket and gave it to it. Kuja. The sand moose's eyes curved up, and it danced happily while holding the peach fruit. Ha ha ha, you still like food so much. Kuja. Kuja. The mole jumped for a while, then stopped, turned around and ran behind him, shouting twice into the woods. Hey! A man slowly walked out from the bushes and greeted Zhang Yu. Good morning, haha. Okay, if you're sleepy, go to sleep first. It was already noon. Zhang Yu smiled helplessly. He had captured Armstrong when he was sleeping. The Pokeball didn't even shake. I didn't expect that I still love sleeping so much. But it's also good, living the life you like, without worries. Professor Uchiha and Xiaoan looked at the two cute Pokémon and smiled. Since you are all living well, I am relieved. Sandshrew, you go and have fun. I will just watch it myself. Zhang Yu waved to the mole and watched it run back into the forest and disappear. The three of them continued walking forward and came to a pond. This is where your Magikarp and goldfish live, Au. Dr. Uchiki took out a handful of fish food and scattered it, and bubbles suddenly appeared in the pond. Several carp kings and goldfish appeared on the water surface, eating food happily. Do-ho! Unlike the stupid Magikarp, the smart goldfish quickly remembered his trainer. It swam to the shore, spitting out a series of small bubbles from its mouth, greeting Zhang Yu. Nice to meet you too, goldfish. Zhang Yu took out his special Pokémon food and fed the goldfish with his own hands. The dumbfounded carp kings only reacted after seeing the food, and they all came over to act coquettishly towards Zhang Yu. Ha ha ha, I have them all, don't worry. When the fishes were full and sated, they were getting sloppy in front of Zhang Yu. A pink Pokémon with eyes full of wisdom slowly emerged from the water. Slowpoke! Xiaoyan shouted happily. Besides the unicorn, his favorite is the Slowpoke. Ya dong! After 2 minutes, Slowpoke realized that there was someone next to him and made a puzzled sound. Ha ha ha, it's really cute. Zhang Yu squatted down and rubbed Slowpoke's head gently. Although it is dumber than Magikarp, it is so cute that I captured one in the hunting area. Master, can I pet Slowpoke? Xiaoyan asked expectantly, he also wanted to feel the touch of Slowpoke. Master. Dr. Naki was puzzled for a moment, but didn't care. Wow, this feels so good. The skin is cool and smooth, as round as a glass ball. Xiaoyan gently poked Slowpoke's head. The slightly sunken skin bounced back with a bang. Ah dong! Slowpoke enjoyed the massage service of the two and made a comfortable sound. Chapter 99. Little Bobo also has big dreams. Looking at the cute Pokémon, Zhang Yu had an idea in his mind. However, I will have time to do it after I finish the Quartz Conference. By the way, Dr. Uchiki, I remember there is also a Magnemite and a Pidgeot. Zhang Yu remembered that he still had 2 captured Pokémon that he hadn't seen yet. They seem to have something to accomplish these days, so they have been staying in the mountains. But every time I went to ask them, they wouldn't tell me. It just so happens that you are here today, let's go and see what's going on. Nemo pointed to the mountains in the distance and said. What do you want to accomplish? Zhang Yu remembered that when he captured these 2 Pokémon, there was nothing special about them. After saying goodbye to Slowpoke and the others, Zhang Yu and Xiaoyan followed Professor Neimu to the top of the mountain. When I got close, I heard the voices of Bobo and Magnemite. Bobo! Kuai Yi! The 3 sneaked up and hid behind a big rock to watch the movements of the 2 Pokémon. Bobo chatted with Magnemite for a while, then ran for a distance in the open space, and then flew into the sky. Magnemite followed closely behind, and soon the 2 Pokémon disappeared into the sky. Huh? Where are they going? Xiaoyan asked a question. The 3 of them watched the 2 small black dots in the sky slowly disappear. Well, no rush, wait, I guess he'll be back soon. Zhang Yu was still hiding behind the rock. According to Dr. Neimu's description, this was not the first or second time. Just stay here and wait for Bobo. At this time, Bobo and Magnemite in the sky have passed through the clouds and saw a brand new scene. Boom! Kuai! Both Pokémon were very excited, but they did not stop and continued to fly upwards. Gradually, the temperature in the sky became lower and lower, and Bobo's wings flapped slower and slower. Magnemite also moved from beside him to behind him. The 2 magnetic arms emit waves, holding up Bobo. Boom! Kuai Yi! But even so, they still didn't hold out for long. Finally, they couldn't stand the severe cold at high altitude and were forced to descend. Appeared. Xiaoyan has good eyesight and spotted 2 figures in the air not far away. It's just that their falling speed is not normal, as if they are in free fall. Wrong. Zhang Yu noticed this and immediately rushed out from behind the stone, followed by Xiaoyan and Dr. Neimu. Giant Beedrill! I'm counting on you. He ran towards the direction where the 2 Pokémon landed and released the Beedrill. Hiss! The giant bee also discovered the falling Magnemite and Pidgeot, flapped its wings, and rushed towards them. Buzz! The sound of the wings flapping woke up Magnemite and Pidgeot. Bo! Kuai! When the 2 Pokémon opened their eyes dazedly, they saw themselves in the arms of a giant bee. Phew! Great! Thank you for your hard work, Beedrill. Zhang Yu breathed a sigh of relief as he watched the 3 Pokémon land safely, but soon, his brows furrowed. But Magnemite and Pidgeot are still in bad condition, with some ice debris on their bodies, as if they were frostbitten. Zhang Yu took out the Pokeball again. Vampire, please use aromatherapy on them. Defo. The fragrance of the stamens on the top of the king flower enveloped the 2 Pokémon. Magnemite and Bobo's situation gradually returned to normal. Bobo! Kuai! The 2 children saw so many people around them, including their trainer, and knew they were in trouble, and their mood became depressed. Zhang Yu did not ask them why they flew so high and got frostbite, but chose to calm them down first. I'm so glad you're all okay. Long time no see, Bobo, Magnemite. Do you still remember me after not seeing you for so long? Bobo. Kuai Yi. The two Pokémon of course remembered, and seeing that their trainer was not angry, they happily responded to Zhang Yu. But I'm curious, where are you going when you fly so high? Zhang Yu pointed to the sky, indicating that he already knew their movements. Bobo. Bobo hesitated for a moment, but still slowly explained the reason. The following is a translation by Porygon. Bobo has always been a happy Bobo. Even though he was conquered by Zhang Yu, he still lives a happy life with no worries about food and drink every day. Until it met Magnemite. Magnemite is a little Magnemite that has seen the world. Although he only learned about the world from his predecessor, the self-explosive Magnemite, it does not prevent him from showing off his profound knowledge to his friends. After the surrounding Pokémon got tired of hearing Magnemite's stories, it chose to follow Zhang Yu, who came to capture Pokémon, and left the hunting area, ready to see more of the world. After arriving at the Orange Islands, Magnemite met Bobo for the first time. Kuai hello. Magnemite greets Pidgeot who is looking for grass seeds to eat on the ground. However, Pidgeot didn't pay any attention to Magnemite. His goal was to eat 100 grass seeds every day. Before he completed his goal, he didn't like to be disturbed by other Pokémon. Finally, after Magnemite had waited for a long time, Bobo raised his head. Hello. Hello. Kuai, I'm Magnemite, nice to meet you. Pokémon's emotions are very pure. After a simple exchange, Bobo and Magnemite gradually became friends. When Bobo looks for grass seeds to eat every day, Magnemite will tell him the stories he heard from Magnemite. Today, Magnemite remembered another story and couldn't wait to share it with Bobo. Kuai. Do you know what the meaning of life is? Bo looking for grass seeds to eat. This is the first time that Bobo responds to Magnemite while he is busy. Kuai. No, I mean something that can touch the soul. Magnemite was very excited and told Bobo that although he didn't know what a soul was, it sounded very noble. Bobo looking for grass seeds to eat. Bobo is not interested in souls, and after answering Magnemite, he continues to do his own thing. Kuai. Kuai. I heard from my seniors before that if you keep flying towards the sky, you can see the beautiful starry sky. When you see such a beautiful scenery, you will understand the meaning of life. Bobo. Starry sky? The meaning of life? Bobo ate the 100th grass seed and asked curiously. Indeed, doing the same thing every day seems a bit boring. Bobo thought for a while and suddenly made up his mind. Bo. Then let's go and take a look. Kuai. Magnemite was a little overwhelmed by Bobo's affirmative tone. Kuai. He was obviously indifferent to my story before. However, Magnemite was also very happy to see that his friend no longer looked for grass seeds to eat, but had a new goal. Bobo is a stubborn person. Once he decides to do something, he will complete it seriously even if it is a temporary decision. In this way, the two Pokémon began their daily high-altitude flight, wanting to see the starry sky that Magnemite mentioned. Chapter 100, Bobo. Fly to the stars. In this way, the two Pokémon are flying every day. However, they don't want to trouble others, so every time Dr. Nemo comes, Bobo and Magnemite will see him in the air in advance, return to the top of the mountain, and pretend nothing happened. Until today, the weather was very good. Bobo first circled in the sky, but did not find the doctor. It's a good day to fly to the stars. Magnemite thought so too, and sure enough, they were right. The two Pokémon broke through the clouds for the first time and saw a whole new landscape. Not enough, I haven't seen the starry sky yet. They continued to fly upwards, but the air became thinner and colder. Although Magnemite doesn't need to breathe, it still can't resist the cold, let alone Popo. Finally, when they wanted to fly down, it was too late. Their bodies became numb and their consciousness gradually faded away. Until he was rescued by a giant bee. Bobo. Ding, that's it. Porygon fully translated what happened. Zhang Yu was a little amused. You guys should have broken through the stratosphere and reached the mesosphere. If the atmosphere of the Pokémon world was the same as Earth's. However, you are really brave to pursue your target without any protection at all. Zhang Yu admires the two little ones. Moreover, they were not defeated by failures again and again, but kept persisting. Okay. Bobo, let me help you achieve your goal. Bobo hesitated. Don't be afraid to trouble me. After all, I am your trainer. Zhang Yu patted his chest. His child had a dream, and as a trainer he had to support him. Even though I have hardly ever communicated with them, now that I have captured the Pokémon, I have to take responsibility for them. Kui. Magnemite didn't know why he seemed to see a light flashing behind Zhang Yu, but since the trainer was willing to help him, he happily flew to Zhang Yu and rubbed his hand. Let's wait until you recover, then we can take action. Master, is this really possible? Xiaoan watched Zhang Yu tie a heater and an oxygen tank to the Porygon. Then he let Beedrill hug Magnemite and Pidgeot. Ayu, isn't this a bit risky? Dr. Uchiki doesn't know anything about flying up into the sky to see the stars. She's not an expert in this area. However, he also agrees with Zhang Yu's willingness to help his Pokémon realize their dreams. This is a qualified trainer. According to my calculations, there shouldn't be any problem. Let the Beedrills send them to the stratosphere to save their energy. Then let Porygon turn on the heater to provide heat to Magnemite and Pidgeot. Of course, if it doesn't work, don't force it. Come back early to avoid danger. The last sentence was said by Zhang Yu to the two little ones. Boom. Kui. Magnemite and Bobo nodded seriously. Well then, Beedrill, Porygon, I'll be troubling you guys for this star-chasing operation. Zhang Yu also gave this operation a code name. Ready, to go. Buzz. The giant bee received the command and soared into the sky, flying straight up into the sky. Porygon uses his levitation ability to follow closely behind. Originally, Zhang Yu wanted to let the Polygon, which has strong ability to cope with various environments, fly out of the atmosphere to take pictures of the starry sky. But I'm afraid that it's different from Earth. If something goes wrong with Porygon, it will be bad. So we should go together steadily. If there is any danger, we can come down in time. Besides, the scenes captured are not as stunning as seeing them with your own eyes. Hiss. As the giant bee flew higher and higher. It also successfully reached the stratosphere. The white clouds looked like the endless wool of the Merely sheep. It was the first time for Beedrill to see such a scene. Polygon had already turned on the video mode, filming the surrounding environment. Beedrill released its double needles and Magnemite and Pidgeot flew out. Bobo. Kui. After thanking Beedrill, the two continued to fly upwards. The Polygon has a heater tied to its body and follows behind them. As the altitude increases, the surrounding temperature drops rapidly. The temperature inside the Polygon has reached -40 degrees Celsius and is still dropping rapidly. Drib. It used electric current to activate the heater, which instantly opened a yellow light circle, the air became thinner, and the oxygen cylinder came in handy. With the help of Porygon and Magnemite, Popo put on the oxygen mask. Boom. Bobo's wings were a little numb, but his body temperature was gradually rising under the light. I don't know how long they flew, but the energy in Polygon was running out. Kui. Magnemite suddenly shouted excitedly. After passing through the last thin layer of clouds, the three Pokémon saw a stunning view. The starry sky above is crisscrossed with colorful tracks, which are like ribbons in a dream, extending towards the endless distance. In distant galaxies, countless bright stars are shining with their own unique light, bright or dim, red or blue, interweaving into a magnificent cosmic picture. Except for Porygon, who showed no reaction, Magnemite and Pidgeot were so shocked that they were speechless. Kui. Magnemite had only heard about the beauty of the starry sky from Magneto, but now, the scene he saw with his own eyes was 10,000 times more beautiful than the description. Bobo felt a throbbing in his heart, as if he had found the meaning of life. Boom, boo. I really want to stand on the top and see the beauty of the world. Porygon also recorded all of this. Click. The heater's aperture suddenly flashed a few times. Porygon sounded the alarm. Ding-dee, insufficient energy, need to return as soon as possible. It quickly woke up the two Pokémon that were in a daze. The situation is urgent. If the heater is turned off before leaving the mesosphere, Magnemite and Bobo will likely be in danger of their lives again. The two Pokémon looked at the starry sky reluctantly for the last time, and flew back with Porygon. And on a distant meteorite, a green dragon that had just woken up rubbed its eyes. Wow, I saw Bobo in space? Fortunately, the heater lost its function just as the 3 Pokémon left the middle layer. Bobo! Kuai-yi! The 2 little ones breathed a sigh of relief and continued to fly downwards. Soon they saw Zhang Yu and his group waiting at the top of the mountain. Hi! We're here! Zhang Yu also saw them and waved his hands on the ground. This time, there was no need for the help of the giant bee. The 2 little ones were in good condition and successfully landed in Zhang Yu's arms. I actually, really flew into the starry sky. The 3 of them were shocked when they saw the projection of Porygon. The difference is that Xiaoan and Dr. Uchiki were shocked by the 2 little ones' achievement of their goal. Zhang Yu was shocked by the space scene in the video. Really, left the Earth. The 360-degree, all-angle shot of the Porygon in the video shattered Zhang Yu's last fantasy about the Earth. This is a completely different world. After flying through the stratosphere and mesosphere, Zhang Yu was completely unfamiliar with the clouds that appeared behind him. The color is not even white. The planets in space are also strange planets that I have never seen before. Turn the view to the following. The Pokémon world planet he lives in has more scattered continental plates, but it is still very similar to Earth. I should have faced reality a long time ago. Isn't the life I have now what I want? Zhang Yu had no regrets. He just made the best of it. This has always been his mindset. It's just that I can't see my old friends anymore.